It is 6 o'clock at the MJ Morning Show. Man, stuff's just not working in here. Just the computer just fudged up a second ago. I had to jam my microphone button 5 times to get it to turn on. Holy crap. Fester just walked in at the last second. Another accident? Another motorcycle on its side on the Howard Franklin?
If I were late, I would have fabricated a traffic accident. However, I was jit again.
Yeah, well, I don't like jit.
Well, that's tough jit.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll tell you what, so far I'm the only reliable thing happening this morning. So
no, my wife is the most reliable thing. Michelle hanging out again is the most reliable thing.
Oh man.
All I know is coming off of that game last night, man, just zero energy in that game and that commercial presentation and the halftime. I mean, just a bucket of suck. I'm sorry, just a 3 suck. You know, they were talking about the Chiefs and a potential 3-peat, right? That was a 3 suck last night because the game was lousy. The halftime show was lousy. Didn't know one damn thing in the halftime. I think that's the first time in the history of me ever watching the Super Bowl that I knew nothing that the performer did. I mean, zero. I can't tell you how many texts I got from people. Now, I realize the demographic was probably 25 and under.
Yeah,
maybe 30 and under. But
we're not exactly Kendrick Lamar's target audience.
Right. I get that. And I said that to Michelle last night. I said that, you know, we're not the target demographic for Kendrick Lamar. However, you generally want to find a halftime show and a performer that kind of, you know, crosses the demographic spectrum, you know, and entertains a good portion of the viewership. It was just a laser-focused, I think, interest.
And also, Chloe watched it, and she was unimpressed, and she was surprised that she only she was familiar with one song.
Right.
And she had expected to be, you know, more engaged with the show and like it a little more than she did. And she was like, wow, I only knew one. And she didn't really care for the performance overall.
Yeah, my daughter, 23 years old, she was highly unimpressed. And again, like what Michelle said, knew one song well. I don't think that historically is going to go into the history books as a very good halftime show. I mean, like I said, a 3 suck. The bad game, bad commercials, bad halftime show. I'm trying to figure out whether anything deserves any recognition, any merit.
Oh, yes.
What?
The Eagles beat the Chiefs.
Okay.
Acknowledge.
Well, I will acknowledge that because I was pulling for the Eagles. Yeah, listen, I was uninterested in the game. I was not interested in the Chiefs again in another Super Bowl, and the whole 3 in a row 3-peat. That just got me kind of nauseous.
Listen, you got to beat them. They're the champs. Somebody's got to knock the king off the pedestal.
I get it. Well, the Eagles obviously did it, but I just wasn't interested in the game in the first place. And then you kind of hope that if the game sucks, the commercials pull it out, and the commercials didn't pull it out. And I'll get into a little dissertation on the commercials later on, probably 7 o'clock hour, probably during the long chunk of the MJ Morning Show at between 7:25 and 8 o'clock-ish or something. So and then the halftime show. So like I said, 3 suck is what we had. And then let's talk about the Super Bowl egg test, which will come up numerous times here on the MJ Morning Show. Of course, the Super Bowl egg test, which, Fester, you botched up the egg test. We did the redo, and the redo was accurate. So the first test, we had to discard that.
Yeah.
Because you did not have the eggs in the microwave set up properly.
No. The eggs were proper.
No.
It was a mechanical issue with the microwave.
No, it wasn't a mechanical.
Because of the jostling.
No, it was not it was a user error. It was Fester.
No, user error would be like, I don't know how to press the numbers. That's a user error.
One of Chloe's friends noticed that you handled one of the eggs more than the other one. I thought that might be a contributing factor.
Listen.
I tried to line up the eggs on the brown circle, but the brown circle was askew.
Fester, that is, dude, That is a user error. For those listening now, if you missed the show on Friday,
If anything, it's a procedural
you
error.
had one job. You had one. It was user error.
No,
You-
it was a functionality
No,
error in
dude,
some capacity.
You did not have the glass tray seated properly on the plastic ring
So that would be-
that spins. That's user
That's
error.
functionality
It
error.
is not functionality.
It is
It's
functionality.
user error. You were making all kinds of noise. You jostled the microwave. You dropped it hard on the counter to make a noise,
Listen,
and that threw the glass dish, the tray,
off track, off its little spinner thing in the middle.
Exactly.
Right.
So it never spun. So the eggs just stood in a static position, and the Chiefs' egg survived. The Eagles' egg blew up in the first test, but then we realized that the glass tray was not seated properly, so there was no even rotation and microwave absorption.
Hence functionality.
It's
Yeah,
user freak.
no, it's
Will you
not.
stop it?
It's not.
It's user freaking
Listen,
error.
I'll take
It
my
is.
share of the blame, but I'm not going to take all of it.
No, it's all your fault.
No.
No, it is. What is wrong with you?
Absolutely
it's
not.
all your fault.
What's wrong with you?
Because you were.
Oh my God.
You got the microwave. You brought it in. You plugged it in. You placed the eggs. You started it with 5 minutes on the clock, and it was your job to make sure that the microwave was in proper operating condition.
I should really be fired if that's my job.
I'm just saying that.
Well, I was just going to say, are you writing him up?
Yeah, I mean, this
Are
is
you
what-
informing management?
no one's
Meredith,
getting.
it's going in my permanent file that
No,
I screwed up the first egg test, Meredith.
No one's getting written up, but it was user error. It was your fault.
The first aid test?
The first egg test, not AIDS test.
Okay, I didn't know. I was
passed
walking
that
by.
one. Did I? Did I
Did
pass
you
it?
pass that
Do you want
one?
to pass that test or not pass that test? Listen, so
How'd you mess it up?
because I slammed the microwave and the
Was
eggs
it your
in
first time doing it?
No, it
It
wasn't.
was a functionality error of
Instead
the
of done 30
microwave.
times, 25 times, whatever it was.
It's
There was
okay.
a functionality error. It's going in my permanent file.
Stop with your semantics BS. You botched the first damn test. Then we redid the egg test.
I'm a contributing factor, but you can't give me 100% of the blame.
If you don't take ownership of this, he will never
Listen,
let it go.
because he's the only. He was.
Ever.
Wait, hold on. What,
Say, I'm sorry.
I
it will happen again.
I will die on this hill.
what do you mean you? What do you mean you were a factor? It was all you. No one had anything to do with setting up the egg test other than you.
Well, you guys have fun. I have to go. But
Goodbye.
This is great.
Goodbye. Thank
Love
you.
you guys.
Thank you for your.
You did 100% of the test. The error, the mistake was 100% yours. Anyway, the bottom line is that the egg test was repeated. The microwave was properly
Functioning.
set up because we put the glass tray on the little track so it would spin around with the distribution of the microwaves evenly across the eggs instead of the eggs just sitting in one spot. And there are hot spots in microwaves. So finally, the second test where all the conditions were accurate and good, and according to specifications, that test determined that the Eagles were going to win because the Chiefs' egg then blew up. So therefore, the egg test was, again, 100% correct. Right on the money. All right. Festa does his best to ruin the show and derail it. But you know what? In the end, the truth and accuracy prevailed. As we just get rolling on the MJ Morning Show, busy Monday show, back in minutes.
Still not much to report this morning.
MJ Morning Show, it's Q105, 104.7 FM, 619 Monday morning. And, of course, the Monday after the Super Bowl has a higher number of work absences. What was that dumb story that we had, I don't know, maybe a week or two ago about who was pushing for making the Monday after the Super Bowl a national holiday?
Yeah, everybody with common sense.
Oh, jeez.
What?
Yeah,
Listen.
missed the microwave over here.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, today should be a holiday. We shouldn't be here today.
Would you? We cut the crap.
Next weekend, next Monday's a holiday. Next Monday's a federal holiday.
Oh, so you should wrap what? President's Day.
President's Day / George Washington's birthday.
Well, that's President's Day. George.
Yeah, it's like but it's two different names.
Lincoln and
Yeah.
George Washington. So you're saying that President's Day ought to be wrapped up into the Monday after the Super Bowl?
How convenient would that be? How perfect would that be? America finally gets something right. The day after the Super Bowl should be a national
The
holiday.
day after the Super Bowl should not be a freaking national holiday.
Why do you need it off?
We should have some rando Monday.
Get out of here. I mean, a lot of people are up late watching TV on Sunday night anyway. The game did not go particularly late.
Exactly.
So the game doesn't go particularly late, but it is a party
Well,
and
it
festive
can
event.
go particularly late if there's overtime
Yeah, it's only a couple
or
of
if it's a
times.
slow rolling game. But last night's game was fairly quick. It was a fairly fast game, at least what I notated. It was no overtime because it was a freaking blowout. And I don't see why anybody would need today off. But the bottom line is that productivity apparently does suffer today.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and
Why?
there are no, who the hell knows?
I mean, honestly, if you're watching the game, I don't see that as an opportunity to get rip roaring drunk.
You know,
I'm not like hungover.
I do. That's it.
I plan to come to work today
Right.
and do the best possible show. I don't think the show's going to, suck or drag today because of the Super Bowl last night. I think it's quite the opposite. I think I've got more material, today. I've got a ton of Super Bowl related stuff, even though the game sucked. It was a 3 bad commercials.
It wasn't a sucky game.
Listen,
wasn't a sucky
come
game.
on. There was a blowout.
It was the falling of a king.
All right,
it
listen.
was the dynasty ended. You watched the Chiefs not only lose, but lose in spectacular fashion. Where's your sense of drama? This was a good game.
You're not gonna. It was not a good
It
game.
Oh, yes, it
Nobody
was.
expected that.
Not a good game.
It was a good game because nobody saw that coming. You were surprised.
I'm sure a lot of people lost money too.
No prognosticator was like, I see it being 20-something to 0 at halftime.
Right.
People would have called you crazy, but it happened. It was the drama of the
Sorry,
game.
I don't think the game was good.
You are not a football fan in
The
any
halftime
real
show was
capacity.
lousy, and the commercials were lousy. It was like I said, it was a 3 suck.
Come on, the interceptions,
Yeah.
so close to the end zone where
Back-to-back
not even-
sacks twice.
Oh my gosh!
Why-
Listen,
why doesn't
Patrick Mahomes was owned.
He was.
Patrick Mahomes, did he just roll in like Mr. Cocky? Did he roll in thinking he was king of the bleep?
No, Philadelphia is that good of a team.
Yeah.
I mean,
I realize that,
no, you
but
don't, because you're like, did he just walk in, Mr. Cocky, Mr. Big Ball, and it saying, I'm just going to win this number? No, he actually prepared for the game,
didn't look like it.
but that's a credit to Philadelphia. Why doesn't the DJ just stick to halftime reports? That's what I think should happen. Right
What now?
You should just talk to that because you're
You
not
call me a
football-
DJ?
Yeah,
I'm not a DJ. I'm not over here on the ones and twos going wicka, 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 wicka.
You're just talking up songs.
Like,
That's all you're doing.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's what we do. I'm talking up 10-second intros.
Listen, I mean,
Yeah, 12 songs in a row on the MJ Morning Show.
The game itself was high drama.
We just played our one of the day, and that's just for me to get organized early during the show.
Anybody who watched the game
Yeah.
multiple times said, ooh, regardless of who you're looking, it was a good game.
It was not a good game. I don't know.
Fester.
Yeah, and you think you did nothing wrong with the microwave test on Friday. Okay.
Look, Chloe and I were jumping around and shouting and screaming and hooting and hollering
I'm
and
sorry.
clapping. We were excited.
Anyway, the Super Bowl flu, as it's called, is supposed to cost businesses over $3 billion in productivity, and people calling out sick today, which I don't know. I guess if you got drunk, if the only way to entertain yourself with the lousy halftime show, the lousy commercials, and bad game was to get, some form of entertainment, maybe a lot of people just got hammered and, got sick. You got alcohol poisoning. And that's why you're calling in sick today.
Emergency rooms are full of drunken Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagle fans with blood alcohol poisoning.
And no, I do not agree with a national holiday. All right, so there's this weird story, and I had this last week, but there's a little more information that's emerged. there's a bizarre Super Bowl related death regarding and relating to a television reporter. Do you guys know about this?
No.
Yeah, not Adam. Adan? Adan is his first name.
Adan.
Is it Adan? Yeah,
Adan. I would guess Adan.
yeah.
So how do you know about this, Fester?
I saw it over the weekend.
Yeah, so I had the story on Friday.
I saw the arrest over the weekend.
Okay.
I saw the arrest.
That's the update.
Okay, that's
So,
what I saw.
On Friday, we just knew that a TV reporter for a major network died while covering the Super Bowl, and we didn't know much. And then over the weekend, we find out that, there's a woman involved. Now, the major network is Telemundo. You know, one of the big Spanish networks are Telemundo
Univision.
and Univision. Those are the two big Spanish networks here in the United States. And it's a Telemundo reporter in New Orleans covering the Super Bowl died. And here's what we know, that police in Louisiana say that it'll be 3 to 4 weeks before toxicology tests are out to determine the complete cause of death. But we have a 27-year-old, a 27-year-old Telemundo reporter was found dead in his hotel room in New Orleans. And a woman with a history of drugging and robbing men has been arrested in connection to the death. So last week, all we heard was a 27-year-old Telemundo reporter covering the Super Bowl in New Orleans for the Spanish language network Telemundo had died. And then over the weekend, some clarity comes into the picture. A career criminal woman by the name of Danette Colbert, 48 years old, of Slidell, Louisiana. That's where the Newton dive boats are made, which are great dive boats. Yes, Andrew.
And you saw about his wife.
Yeah. I'll get into that in a
We'll
second.
get to the whole thing.
Get into the whole thing here. So this career criminal woman has been arrested. She was caught on surveillance video from the hotel leaving the Telemundo Adan Manzano's hotel room, and then allegedly used his credit card at stores all around New Orleans. So ripped off his credit card and then went on a spree with the dead dude's credit card. So police are still waiting for toxicology reports, but the woman has a history of drugging guys. You know, a hooker who then hooks up with guys, drugs the guy. Yeah, we've had numerous stories like this over the years. Do you remember in Miami and New York? I remember 2 different stories where hookers were targeting guys in like nightclubs and hotel bars.
Going back to the room and drugging them.
They were targeting guys that were wearing like expensive watches, like flashy Rolexes. And I know it happened in New York. Numerous cases. There was a whole spate of these things up in New York where they were looking for this roving band of women that were drugging guys and stealing their cash, their wallets, their expensive watches. And it also happened down in Miami as well. So she's only been charged with property crimes, this woman. She's only been charged with property crimes, including bank fraud and theft. But previously, she's been accused of drugging at least 2 men and then ripping off their credit cards and then going on a spree. But sounds like this time, I mean, if I were just to speculate before all the results are out, sounds like she drugged this Telemundo reporter and dosed him up a little too high or something from a blood chemistry. So, you know, something went wrong and the guy stopped breathing and he died.
All right, there's a lot more questions.
Tell you what, she's gonna face the Louisiana death penalty on this one, I'm guessing. I think she's in big, big trouble. No obvious signs of trauma on his body, Yeah, because she drugged him and something went wrong. So this woman, Danette Colbert, her nickname is the Hustler of Bourbon Street. And footage shows her, I guess it was hallway cam footage, showing her in the hotel lobby near the elevators, going into his room, coming out of his room.
Did she go in with him? Did he call for an escort?
Yes. Well, here's more detail. The security footage indicates that Colbert, or maybe it's Colbert. I wonder if she's related to Stephen Colbert.
I doubt it.
Well, yeah, Colbert's a white dude. She's a black girl. All right, so Colbert arrived with Manzano at the hotel room together. So they met out and about. So they must have met out on
somewhere.
Yeah. Now, the hotel room was in Kenner, Louisiana, so not right, in the French Quarter, or it was in Kenner, just outside. So the video surveillance shows the hooker approaching the hotel room with the reporter at 4 a.m. Wednesday and then left alone later. Yeah, so Manzano, he's from Topeka, Kansas, was found dead 12 hours later after nobody heard from him. His wife apparently had not heard from him in 12 hours, and the wife got all panicky and called the hotel saying, "Where's my husband? He's in room so-and-so."
Oh.
And they did a wellness check. So hotel staff went into the room 12 hours later and found him dead.
That's terrible. Can you imagine if she'd have just called a little earlier to the hotel? I don't know.
Yeah. It wasn't his wife. I'm sorry.
Oh.
So, yeah. Yeah, because his wife, it's a bizarre story. His wife had already died. Somebody, a friend or a relative, of the Telemundo guy called the hotel, or it might have been maybe it was the network. Somebody,
Did you say his wife is already deceased?
Yeah.
Okay,
All
all
right.
right.
I got to get to the wife deal. Yeah.
All right.
So somebody called the hotel saying we haven't heard from the reporter, and they did a wellness check. All right. So in a bizarre addition to the story, the reporter's wife, a 24-year-old wife named Ashley Boyd, she died in a car wreck in Kansas like a year ago, last April. Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah. So, just bizarre story. Anyway, so, the bottom line here is you just can't trust hookers.
You know,
You
there are some eternal truths.
you can't trust hookers. What's that, Andrew? Hold on. Put your microphone on. What?
A caller on hold says this happened to him in Miami.
Got drugged? Hold on a minute. I'm gonna be so freaking late here. Hold on a minute. Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show. Who's this?
Hey, good morning. This is Scott. How you doing this morning, MJ?
Hey, Scott. You were drugged by a hooker in Miami?
Yes, I was. Worked at Miami Boat Show, Fort Lauderdale Boat Shows for years and years. Went down there. I was dancing on the dance floor. Left my drink on the table. I got roofied. If I wasn't there with my friends, I would have got robbed for sure. Wearing my Rolex, just like you said.
Wow. All right, so you said you were at the Fort Lauderdale, the famous boat show?
Miami Boat Show. Yeah, Miami Boat Show. I do Fort Lauderdale, did them all. Yes.
Wow. And
Yes, sir.
do you know who roofied your drink?
It was definitely a girl trying to get my Rolex off of me. So if it wasn't for my Cuban friends down there, I would have get my head slapped. Yes.
Wow. And how long ago was this? When did this happen?
This was probably 2000.
Wow, so 20, 25 years
Yeah,
ago.
roofie.
Wow.
I've always heard about roofies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always been a thing.
It's been a problem for a while. Hey, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you checking in. Oh, did you ever catch, or did they ever catch anyone, or no?
No. It was a nightclub. There was no way.
Gotcha. And would you have a flashy gold, like Rolex president on or something?
Yes, I did.
Diamond bezel or not a diamond bezel?
Not a diamond bezel, but I still have it.
Gotcha. Well, that's good. Hey, listen,
I
I'm a watch guy, but I'm not a Rolex guy. I've never owned one.
I got you. I work at U-Haul in St. Petersburg, Florida, 38th Avenue, 66th Street.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You've called before. Do you wear your
Yes, sir.
Do you wear your gold Rolex running around U-Haul?
Nah, the fake one.
All right.
The fake Rolex in the U-Haul.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right. You got it, guys.
All right. So, man, what a bizarre story.
She might not have even known he was dead when she left the room. She might have just thought he was passed out, or because she just not walks out and doesn't think twice about it.
Yeah. So now there's a child that doesn't have a mother because the mother died in the car wreck, and then now the father's dead. So they've got they had a toddler daughter, and now there's like no mommy, no daddy for the toddler. I mean,
This is
That's
awful.
terrible.
what a crazy story. All right, 6:35 at the MJ Morning Show. When we return, the morons in the news. The early morons in the news roll next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Let me... MJ Morning Show. MJ Fester, my lovely wife Michelle, is in again today. Will we have the grace of Michelle during the entire week this week? That is to be determined. I do not know. But what I do know is that the morons never stop. You know, it's nonstop. Every day there are too many morons in the news stories for me to get to, so I just got to pick through these. This is crazy. A passenger shot fireworks at a car in a road rage incident. You know, in the scheme of things, I guess it's better to have fireworks shot at you than having a gun fired at you.
Ooh, that's tough.
You know, Roman candle, a mortar, whatever. But this happened up in Washington State. I've never heard of fireworks road rage.
No.
I've never heard. Ask Michelle. I'm not really a fireworks fan.
I don't think. Yeah, we aren't.
What do I say about fireworks?
They're dangerous.
No,
Is that what you say?
As far as a fireworks show.
You'd rather not go.
Well,
like you've seen them all.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
once you've seen one, you've seen it all. Like,
yeah.
how many times could you watch the sparkler go up in the air and to music?
Yeah, it's you go to a fireworks show. Ooh, I'm surprised. I haven't seen that before.
Right.
What?
Ooh.
Right.
Blew up? It bursted? A red burst? A gold burst?
Wow, I've never seen that. Oh, you know, it's a new concept in fireworks. Nothing's changed in 100 years. Okay, maybe there are some more sizzles and zips and zaps and little things that little.
But for the most part,
Okay, but also, I mean, first of all, did you ever go as a child? Did your parents ever take you to a fireworks show?
Yeah, I mean, nothing specific that I remembered, but of course I saw fireworks growing up. It just, it's like you've been there, done that. It's like, yeah, oh, I can't wait. The 4th of July, there's going to be a fireworks show. I can't wait to see a fireworks show.
But,
you know what? Yeah, I'm going to be so shocked and surprised.
Stop.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think that's why people are going. I think it's the community getting together.
yeah, it's more tradition than anything.
Yeah,
When I think of 4th of July, I think of cooking wieners during the day and watching fireworks in the evening.
I mean, really. Also, like a birthday cake, it's the same thing every year. You blow out the candles, you're expecting something different, but people like that.
I mean, nobody's sitting in the corner like, that's the same damn cake we had last year.
Well,
those candles are going to blow out.
Can I have a piece with no spit on it? I mean, nobody's saying that.
But also, Michelle,
Gross.
I'm not really into the whole birthday thing either. I never been all excited about the birthday. Anyway, back to the
That's a you thing.
Yeah,
You're
it's-
just an unexcited person
It's more
altogether.
of an MJ thing.
Right.
no. I don't,
Downer, MJ.
That's a you thing, not
Right?
being one for tradition or
Fireworks and birthdays suck.
There you go.
yeah.
Just like the Super Bowl last
That should
night.
be
All
your
right.
motto.
All right, so let me tell you about this. This is up in Washington State. A passenger in a pickup truck shot a bunch of fireworks at another car in a road rage incident, caught on dash cam. A woman recorded the moment that a four-door Dodge pickup truck, aren't they called Rams these days?
Yes, it's Ram trucks.
So maybe it's an older Dodge, but
Or
now they're called Rams.
Maybe it's poor writing.
Yeah. So apparently, a woman recorded the moment a four-door Dodge or Ram pickup truck that had been following her too closely pulled ahead of her on the road. Once in front, a passenger. This is dangerous, though. Once in front, the truck that apparently was following too close and was upset that the driver was not going fast enough, whatever. And there's video of this thing. So once in front, a passenger in the pickup began shooting fireworks like Roman candles in the direction of the driver's car. Video shows around 7 white sparkling fireworks shooting out from the dark cab of the pickup, bouncing off the road, and then big bright bursts.
Have you seen the video of this?
Yeah, I saw the video last night.
It's amazing.
Yeah. The targeted driver attempts to evade the fireworks being fired at her car by pulling to the other side of the pickup, but the fireworks continue to stream from the passenger's window. I mean, I've never heard of this form of road rage. You're angry at a driver, you get in front of the driver, and then you start launching a fireworks show at their windshield?
I mean, it looks like a Roman candle because it's consistent
Yeah.
sparks or fireballs coming out.
You'd think the person would be worried about what if it like blew off or went off in the cab of the truck, right? I mean, it might start a fire.
I think
Yeah.
their hands outside the window.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Could blow off some fingers.
Right.
Yeah, the pickup truck drove off once the driver who was being hit with the fireworks pulled into a parking lot, and the sheriff's office, Kitsap County, Washington State, is where it happened, and there's video. There's video of the vehicle. I mean, it looks like a brownish pickup truck.
Yep, I'll take the turd colored
It looks
truck.
like, it looks like a turd brown pickup truck. So
Can you make me a deal on the turd looking truck?
now, I don't know. Can you see I don't know if the resolution's good enough to see the license tag, but I mean, somebody ought to recognize this pickup. It's not like it's a white F-150. It's a kind of a brownish paint on the. I don't see many brown pickup trucks. Who the hell buy? I don't understand brown cars.
Maybe it's custom.
Yeah. I don't understand. Have you seen some of the colors out there? Like,
Oh, yeah.
there were like some bronze and like copper color out there. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that particular
I like
color.
mine diarrhea brown.
Yeah.
That's what I like. Yeah.
Anyway, so a big old fireworks show. Are you ready for the next morons in the news story?
Sure.
All right, number 2. I've got 2 idiots arrested for asking police for directions, and it turns out that they've got the drugs in the vehicle. Yeah, so you got drugs in your car, cops become suspicious. Who the hell in their right mind stops and talks to the cops if you've got a bunch of drugs in your car?
Oh, man.
Bunch of bozos. Yeah, 2 men arrested. I mean, what dopes? They stopped their vehicle, asked law enforcement for directions, and it turned out that the cops were canine officers with drug-sniffing dogs. I mean, you can't make this idiocy crap up. Aaron Ragan, 27, was charged with drug possession and misdemeanor driving while revoked. He's being held in the local jail. This is in Columbia, Missouri is where this happened. Then you've got Alan Richards, another 27-year-old. He was charged with drug possession. He's being held also on a $15K bond. A press release from the Osage Beach Police Department in Missouri says that a couple of officers with a multi-jurisdictional drug task force were preparing to start canine training when a vehicle driven by this Ragan guy pulled up. The men in the vehicle asked for directions on how to get to Osage Beach. Officer said, "You're already here." The officers noticed the men seemed to be impaired. Another officer brought out their canine partner, which is a drug-sniffing dog, to sniff around the vehicle, and the dog just starts pawing or sits or, the dog alerts on the vehicle. Different drug dogs do different alerts.
This is the best canine training ever. They're going to do a training mission anyway.
They found methamphetamine in the vehicle. What a bunch of schmucks. You're impaired, you're drugged up, you have drugs in the car, and you stop and ask two cops for directions, and they're canine officers, and they got a drug-sniffing dog.
Yeah. On the side of the vehicle where it says to serve, it's not meant for you guys. Yeah. Keep driving, boys.
That's what we call morons in the news. Oh, when we get back, the moment we get back, you got to hear about the latest creep. This is, Michelle, your stomach's going to turn. This is not like, you're going to lose you might lose your, no, you're not going to lose your breakfast, all right? But this is let me put it this way, a sicko sock story.
Ew.
Yes, a sicko sock story. You got to hear this next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 104.7 FM. If you're looking for something, just Bull pile. Just a lot of things with, the disappointing game, disappointing halftime show, disappointing commercials, the Taylor Swift situation. Oh, several Taylor Swift fronts to discuss. So that's coming up in just a bit on the MJ Morning Show. Let's talk about this sock sicko, man. Oh my, this is disgusting, man. You don't know what creepy crap is going on inside of people's heads. Luckily most people are normal, or if they have some weirdo-isms, they keep that to themselves.
Yeah, they portray themselves as somewhat normal.
And listen, what you do behind closed doors and what you do in your private life, I guess, listen, whatever you're into, if it doesn't cross over and affect other people, it's when it starts affecting other people that it's problematic. Like this sicko, this total creep who was sniffing and stealing socks at a kid's funplex.
Oh, that's even worse.
Well, I told you. Listen, I told you.
Other than theft, what's the crime?
This guy is a total perv. I mean, how demented, how effed up in the head, what kind of screw loose do you need to have to be caught stealing and sniffing kids' socks at one of those kids, funplexes, like the ball,
like a trampoline place,
the ball pit.
The ball pit,
yeah. It happened in Utah, and you got a sicko that's facing numerous felony charges because police then also searched his residence.
Oh, yeah.
And his electronic devices. So would you be shocked that a guy busted for going to a little kid's recreational place, stealing their socks and sniffing them? Would you be surprised that the cops found kiddie porn on his devices?
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
Not quite the shocker here, huh? No, not quite a mystery here. Oh my God! Let me introduce you to Roland Edward Brown, a 63-year-old guy. And it gets even sicker.
All right. I just want to say I'm against doing this story.
And why?
I don't know that we even need, I don't know that we need this.
This is a warning to parents
Okay.
that you never know. I mean, even in what seemed to be the most innocent places.
I think you can make your point without getting into the nuts and guts of the story.
Wait, no, I'm curious.
I think you can.
I'm just giving you the facts.
All right, Allison, turn the car radio off.
Dude,
I don't want my kids hearing this. I'm telling you right now. I'm not going to lie to you.
There's nothing I'm going to say that is. Oh, that's great. Tell your wife to shut off the show.
You.
That's great.
Are we having a dialogue here? Listen, this is.
I don't need you telling people to shut off the show.
I only told one person.
This is a warning.
She doesn't even listen to me.
Listen to me.
The warning has been made.
This is a warning to parents that in the least, an innocent place like a children's recreational spot, you have to be on the lookout for creeps. So, Michelle, when we would take our kids to birthday parties, and we went to just tons of these things. Do you remember the time you tricked me into the whole Chuck E. Cheese deal?
Yes. Because you didn't really ask where it is. You say things like, I need the address. And I'm like,
what's the address?
Okay, I'll give you the address.
So Michelle pawned a whole lot of the birthday crap. And when you've got two kids, and I don't need to tell parents this, we've all been through the same stuff.
Like every other weekend.
And it's,
every weekend.
My God, it's like, can I just get a weekend free that I don't have to take Julian or Chloe to some classmate's birthday party? So the worst one was when Michelle sent me to a party and wouldn't tell me where it was. And
you didn't ask.
Listen, it was like deceit through omission.
Deceit by omission.
You knew it was a Chuck E. Cheese's.
Yes.
I had no desire to go to freaking Chuck E. Cheese's.
You hate that place.
Yes. And Michelle just gives me the address. I'm thinking I'm going to someone's house. I'm like,
Hold on a second.
I got the GPS going. I'm like, this doesn't look like a residential area. Where is this house? Oh, their house is in a shopping center. Oh, and then I see Chuck E. Cheese. I'm like, son of a. So, is that still one of your proudest moments?
Yes. Because, you collude with the other moms.
Because
right? So you're like, you talk to the other moms and you're like, are you going to this party? I'm sorry. I'm not going. I'm sending Felix. No, I'm sending Billy. Oh. And so then I'm like, I'll send MJ.
So Michelle, knowing damn well that the birthday party's at a Chuck E. Cheese, that was in St. Pete.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. So knowing
the Tyrone Gardens location?
I think it might have been.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
So, fun one? Is it?
The
big rabid rat coming around dancing.
I don't know that Chuck E. Cheese is rabid.
The rabid rat.
I mean, he's there for a good time.
Is he purple?
Yeah.
Is he gray purple?
I don't know.
He's like gray purple.
Yeah.
So Michelle knows, and you were snickering and you were probably laughing under your breath the whole time. Probably the minute I left the house.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was a Julian deal, right?
It was. He rode in the Corvette.
Yeah, that was Julian.
Yep.
And I took Julian, and the whole time Michelle knows she's sending me to Chuck E. Cheese. She just gave me the address. Yeah, the party's here. Have a great time.
See you later, boys.
Were you laughing in my face when I left the house?
No, I turned around.
Anyway, but listen, the warning is, I think, crystal clear that even in the most innocent environments, just parents, you have to be alert. You've got to have your head on a swivel. This Roland Edward Brown was turned in by an employee of the Rush Funplex. This happened in Utah. So Rush Funplex
this guy
is what it was called.
The employee is really observing, watching this guy steal the socks.
Listen, I got to believe that at kid-centric places, hopefully there's training to educate employees on what to look for things that are out of the ordinary that could pose a danger to a kid.
Like whether a person belongs there or not. Like, why are they there? Are they with, a legitimate event or a child?
So the Rush Funplex, they've got bumper cars, they've got go-kart. It's a massive indoor building. We've all seen these places. They've got the video games. They've got laser tag. They've got the ball pit. They all kinds of. It's just looks like
fun place.
Looks like a giant big box store.
Fester, is that like the place you were talking about last week? Like you went with your kids or something?
No, I was talking about Main Event. This place looks a lot more awesome than Main Event.
Oh, okay.
They've got bowling. I mean, there's a crap ton of stuff. It looks like 100,000 square foot building. It looks like the size of a super Walmart or even bigger. And they've got all this stuff inside. And according to the probable cause affidavit, a police investigation revealed that Brown stole multiple children's socks from the Rush Funplex in West Jordan, which is a suburb of Salt Lake City, and was taking pictures with his phone of the kids playing.
Oh, come on, man.
So you've got a 63-year-old guy with no kid goes to this place just to be all pervy.
I mean, I would think that just seeing somebody like randomly take socks and then run to the restroom with them looks a little suspicious.
Yeah, why, Fester? Why would you tell your wife to turn off the radio? Why,
I don't know.
Why would you even suggest that anyone else turn? This is important stuff.
Yeah, then the nuts and guts of what they find at his house, I think I could do without.
I'm
telling you.
I didn't say.
I'm telling you.
I'm not going into lurid details.
No.
I'm just pointing out that they found stuff at his house and on his device
and that's
as well.
what I said. I said, listen, I understand the warning of this story, but I don't need all the details of what they discovered at his house.
You're trying to sabotage our broadcast.
I'm the saboteur.
You're a saboteur.
Yes, you caught me.
You're a sabotager.
Color me
saboteur.
guilty.
All right. So anyway, an employee apparently saw the guy taking kids' socks and saw this 63-year-old guy lurking and said, something's not right here. So they called cops, and then cops investigated. I guess there was enough probable cause. Cops got a warrant to search his home. And during the search of his home and his computers and his electronic devices, they found multiple files. I don't need to go into the details of what.
Don't.
Well, I'm not.
Oh, because you've been advised by the saboteur.
All right. So they found all kinds of disturbing things. He was arrested, charged with 10 counts of aggravated sexual exploitation. Anyway, the charges go on. But it started out with this guy stealing and sniffing kids' socks at a kids' funplex. Just heads up, alert. Just be careful. Parents, it could be the most innocent environment, and you just got to be alert. What a total, complete sicko. Hey, Michelle, did you see the email that did Julian send it just to me or to you as well?
Well, I get those emails.
Did he get?
But I didn't read it.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
Our son Julian, who's up in New York at NYU, a campus security alert went out. And listen, lots of parents out there are in Michelle and my boat. You know, kids in college, kids away from home. So Julian sent me an NYU campus notice. This came from New York University Department of Campus Safety, an aggravated assault situation. This happened yesterday. This happened on Super.
Oh.
Yeah, this is fresh.
Uh-huh.
So they got some snow up in New York. On Sunday, February 9th, 2025, yesterday, a Department of Campus Safety received a report of aggravated assault that took place at approximately 3:43 a.m. in front of Founders Hall on East 12th Street in Manhattan. Listen, I'm just going to give you the synopsis here. Turns out it was almost 4 o'clock in the morning, and a bunch of the students, I guess, were outside of the dorm, and they were having a snowball fight at 3:40 in the morning.
Yep.
So they're throwing snowballs because they just had a lot of snow up in the Northeast, and the students were out, I guess, after what a big Saturday night. Yeah, they probably were all over the East Village, maybe St. Mark's area. They're coming back to the dorm after a night of partying and drinking. They have a snowball fight in front of this dorm, and it's not far from Julian's dorm.
Right.
And apparently they hit a stranger with a snowball.
Oh, no.
The stranger then came up to the kid that threw the ball and clocked him in the face and knocked him out.
That's right. That's how you handle that. That's how you handle your business.
Did I mention the story about my uncle when I think I did. I think recently. Did I tell the story, Andrew, about I was driving with my uncle up in New York? Yeah, Uncle Jack. Yeah, I think I told the story recently. Yeah, I was driving with my uncle Jack Schnitt. And yes, I know Jack Schnitt.
Very well.
And for those that haven't heard the story, just quickly, we were driving this up in Nanuet, New York, and we were driving, and suddenly, boom, car gets hit by a snowball. And my uncle is 11 years older than me. So I was probably 8 years old. He was like 19 or 20. And he jammed on the brakes on the car and did a U-turn, went down a side street where the kids were, and got out of the car and chased the kid down and like tackled the kid.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because now I don't think he pummeled the kid's face.
It scared the hell out of him.
Scared the bejesus out of the kid. But here up in New York, near Julian's dorm, this whole campus security alert goes out that a student was bashed in the face because he hit a stranger with a snowball on the sidewalk. And apparently Julian says it was accidental. That the students were having a snowball fight and hit a guy on the sidewalk, and the guy just flips out and just bashes the student in the face.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're walking along the streets of New York and you see a snowball fight happening, clearly 4 a.m., what are you doing out, first of all, right? Do you walk through it, or do you, go around? I mean...
Oh, what if you were far away and some kid really chucked it and it hit you?
I don't know.
I mean,
4
listen,
a.m.
The guy could be walking around at 4. Listen, why are the kids out at 4 a.m.?
Because they're kids.
Yeah, that's the bigger issue. Not while this innocent guy is walking getting abused.
Excuse Fester, nobody out at 4 a.m. is innocent, especially in New York. No way.
Well, listen, I subscribe to nothing good happens after like 1 or 2 a.m.
Oh, midnight.
Yeah. Well, there are some parents that subscribe to nothing good happens after midnight.
I'm one of them.
So I kind of bump it to like 2 a.m.
Oh, you're the liberal parent? You're the easygoing one in our household?
Yeah. You're the one to go to for permission on stuff?
Exactly. Chloe will be asking to stay out until 1 this weekend.
Yeah. The student reports that the suspect that bashed him in the face. Oh, by the way, the student was transported to the hospital. Oh, yeah.
He got beaten up.
The student had his face bashed in for hitting a stranger with a snowball. So EMS was notified. NYPD, FDNY, they show up. The kid is transported. The description of the suspect is, a male, approximately 5'10". The suspect was wearing a brown coat, had a beard and a black hat, black pants, white sneakers with red stripes. So they're looking for the assailant of the beater of the NYU student.
Why? To give him an award?
No.
To make him Citizen of the Month?
Come on.
Stop.
Don't throw snowballs at people.
Yeah, but don't bash a student in the face either.
You know what that kid's never going to do?
He's never going to throw a snowball again.
He's never going to have snow fun again.
He's what, 22?
No.
Get over it, kid.
Hey, Michelle, did you hear about Julian's idea for Chloe? Chloe didn't tell you this?
I guess not.
Oh, Julian calls me yesterday. So we've talked about this. Chloe's probably going to have the need for a car soon.
Yes.
Right? Because Chloe's going to be going to law school, and, she's probably going to end up going to law school in an area where she's going to need a car. So we've started the car shop with Chloe. So we've... last weekend was busy because we traveled to see my mom. So we didn't do any car shopping last weekend. But this weekend, I think we're back out. Chloe's got like 5 more cars that she wants to test drive. So Julian calls me yesterday, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Chloe didn't tell you this?
Mm-mm.
Julian calls me yesterday and says, Dad, you don't need to get Chloe a new car. Get her a used police car from the auction.
Oh, my God.
Right
Are you serious?
Julian says get Chloe one of those retired Ford Explorer police cars.
Oh, the SUVs? Yeah.
Yep.
With the police interceptor?
With the police interceptor package. Cop motor, cop shocks, cop tires. Yeah. So
was she opposed to this idea, or was she open to it?
She was yelling at Julian. Shut up!
It's a safe car.
Well, that's what I'm like. It's a safe car. It's an SUV. It has some added features that she might enjoy. I mean.
So, have you guys ever been to the auction where they sell the police vehicles?
Never.
I've never been.
All right. So, as you know,
Yep.
I like big cars. And there was a time when I threatened my wife that I was going to buy a Crown Vic
Right.
and
Yeah.
paint it, have that be my battle car that I only use to smoke cigars in and drive
Right.
around. And she was horrified by it. But
Hey, Julian, you there?
Yeah.
All right, hold on a sec. Go
I
ahead.
went to the police auction. I went there on a non-auction day. 'Cause
Right.
You can view the items
Really?
on if let's say the auction's on a Saturday, you can go like on a Wednesday.
Mhm.
And I went on a Wednesday. These cars are worked over.
Of course they are.
No,
They've got
the-
a couple 100,000 miles on them.
It's not the miles. It's not the miles. Police rams somebody, right?
A pit maneuver?
A pit maneuver ram, right? They total out the car. Car ends up at the auction. Cars, all the gear, all the electronic equipment's ripped out.
What?
I mean, it's not like it's not the cops don't have plush leather seats inside their vehicles.
Yeah.
Right.
They have
Like-
the basic seats. So it's the least of the comfortable seats.
Uh-huh.
All the wires are hanging out. There's holes drilled in the roof where the light bar is taken off. I mean, it's not. I mean, I was like, wow. I mean, I'll drive a turd, but I'm not. I even thought twice about that.
Hey, Julian.
Yeah.
All right, so I just informed Mom live on the air about your idea for Chloe not to get a new car or a nice used car. Your idea to get a retired police vehicle for Chloe.
Very, very good idea.
I don't know, Julian.
think-
It doesn't sound like a good idea.
Well, we could just go on Facebook Marketplace and get her a Crown Vic. How about that?
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing about the
No,
Crown
you
Vics.
hold on. You said to get her a Ford Explorer retired police Interceptor.
Yeah, or we could go get her like an old Crown Vic or something.
So-
Or we could get her the Scooby-Doo van.
That one too. I'll check if that's still available.
We've been looking at that, by the way, MJ.
Yeah, what?
The Scooby-Doo van. There
We're
is
not-
one. There is one for sale on Facebook Marketplace.
We're not buying
It's
a.
totally like in Scooby-Doo. Like, I mean, it's perfect.
We're not buying a Scooby-Doo.
How much was it, Julian? Like 10 grand?
That would be
Yeah.
a cool
All
car.
right, we're scraping it together.
We're not buying a Scooby-Doo replica van.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, the Mystery Machine.
Could you imagine her rolling up to law school in that?
Zoink, Scoob! All right, goodbye. Oh, Julian, we also just told the story about one of your fellow NYU students getting bashed in the face in the snow.
No, I know. I'm listening.
You're listening. Oh, it sounds like I just woke you up.
Julian.
No, well, partially, but
They have a
Yeah.
hearse. $7,200 to 2004 hearse.
Yeah,
Oh, let's get her that.
yeah. Like, remember the daughter in 6 Feet Under?
Yeah.
Remember she drove around in a hearse? All
Oh,
right,
that's for Chloe right there.
all right, goodbye, Julian.
Oh my God.
All right, 7:21. He's whispering because I guess his roommate is probably still sleeping. It's 7:21 in the morning.
Yeah.
The day after the Super Bowl. All right, we start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. Taylor Swift shocked. What happened that shocked Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl? We'll tell you next. And a lot more because we're doing an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. That's just scratching the surface. The big Super Bowl pile begins next, and the Taylor Swift shocker in minutes here on Q105, 104.7 FM. Hey. It is the MJ Morning Show. It is Q105. Michelle hanging out again. I don't know if Michelle's going to be here the entire week, but Michelle was a welcome addition all last week. Michelle was here the entire week, and the response was very good. I mean, lots of people via direct message, via email, tons of people saying, great to have Michelle along. All right, let's get into the first of the Super Bowl pile. First of all, the Taylor Swift situation. Taylor Swift had something happen to her. She was shocked. What happened to Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl? How did Taylor Swift handle what happened to her at the Super Bowl? Do you know what happened to Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl? This is what happened to Taylor Swift at Super Bowl 59. Taylor Swift shown on the Jumbotron, and there were a lot more boos than cheers for Taylor Swift.
Well, sure, every Philadelphia fan's going to boo.
But there were plenty of Kansas City Chiefs fans there.
Yeah, but listen,
I think
half a stadium boos for you. It's pretty loud.
I think a bunch of the Taylor Swift Chiefs people are probably sick of her, too.
Listen, she's been a pretty good luck charm on that team.
No, I think absolutely the opposite. Their stats were down this season. She's been a distraction.
She's been there for 2.5 years.
Let me tell you right now. Remember the story? I flew out to Kansas City because I had to go to Topeka. Where I went to Topeka, right?
Yeah.
So
the capital.
I flew to Topeka because I do commercials for the Holland Group. The Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors. And when did I fly out?
Did you go to Kansas City and had a car to Topeka or something?
Yeah. So I flew out to Kansas City, and then they sent the car for me at the airport to take me to Topeka.
A year ago.
To record segments for the Holland Group's TV show, which runs on the weekends on TV. So I recorded some TV segments, so I had to fly out to the studio that they use in Kansas. And I was asking the car drivers. I had a car service pick me up at the airport and take me to the studio and then return me to the airport when we were done. And I was asking, hey, what do you guys think of the whole Taylor Swift thing? And both of the car drivers said, oh, we're sick of her. Mm-hmm. We want her to go away. They called her, both drivers, coming and going, said, oh, this Taylor Swift, she's a huge distraction. And that's a year ago they were talking about this. So Taylor Swift, you could see she was surprised. See, Taylor Swift, I think she thinks that everyone loves her.
Yeah,
and
she doesn't get booed much.
Yeah, no one's going to boo her. And last night at the Super Bowl in New Orleans, the fans booed Taylor. So she had a shocked look on her face because they showed her on the Jumbotron, and you can see that she was surprised that she had an overwhelming number of boos inside the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. Yeah. And I ISO'd one of the boos. So if you listen, this is the massive boos. And of course, with the technology like they have on the TV shows like CSI,
Right.
I used our high-tech audio technology, and I thought I heard it in there. I ISO'd this one particular booer, and it's very clear. Listen.
Are we trying to identify that person?
I don't know.
It is. It's a guy named Homer.
I think the game was on Fox.
Yeah. So this is what it sounded like. You hear him? You hear it? Right. So I was able to put it through the computer filtering devices and take most of the crowd boos away and end up with... There we go. So Taylor Swift, shocked. How dare she? She's probably the type that thinks that everyone loves her.
Well, no, she's used to going out on stage at a concert where everyone in the audience loves her. They're going to sing her. I mean, they paid to see her.
Right.
And now she's in a forum where, not everybody really cares about her. They want to see a game. They want to see those players perform.
And she didn't sit in a box. Usually at the Kansas City game, she's behind the glass.
Yeah.
And I guess the Kansas City be a friendly crowd, too.
I got a ton of Super Bowl related items here of entertainment value. I also want to grab some phone calls. Did you have a phone call regarding who am I taking? Line 4? Let me grab Christina on line 4. Christina, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Can I help you?
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Yes, good morning, Christina.
I was going to chime in about referencing purchasing a used police vehicle for your child.
Yeah, well, it's not my idea. Julian, our son, wants us to get Chloe a used police vehicle as her first car.
Well, I'm a retired deputy sheriff, and I also work at an auction that sells those vehicles. So part right, they do tear some of them up when they take them apart, but a lot are not. And you also have what we call low-profile vehicles. They don't have the lights on the top and so forth, so there's no holes in the roof from that. There's also vehicles from undercovers, or there's vehicles from brass, lieutenants, captains. Those are totally unmarked. Nothing's really done to them, maybe a radio in them. Ooh. And so you can get some really nice cars.
So there are diamonds in the rough, Christina. I will give you that.
Yeah, but however, Julian was talking about Chloe getting a retired Explorer with the police package.
So if it had the police package and it was a deputy's vehicle or a police department...
Chloe needs the spotlight on the side.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted.
Okay.
MJ, that was the coolest part about them. Yeah, and they're awesome. But if you get a retired City of Tampa Ford Explorer, right?
Yeah.
They scrape the decals off the side,
right?
And then they put like X's on the door, or they have to cover up any police marking. Like there's state trooper vehicles there, and Christina, you'll agree with this
that are spray painted.
That are spray painted, or
yeah,
it looks like
troopers are spray painted.
It looks
but
like
the sheriff's office that you can get. If you find a captain, it's going to be a police package vehicle, but it's going to be just regular paint. You'll never know. They may put some tiny little lights up by the license plate for wig-wag type lights, but nice vehicles. It's worth checking out.
All right, thank you, Christina. I appreciate you calling in.
You're welcome.
Hey, send me an email. Send me an email where this auction is. Okay.
Okay.
I'm MJ@MJMorningshow.com.
Well, is it Tampa Machinery Auction?
It is, actually.
Yeah, that's the big
and
one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Bought out by J.J. Kane. I'm headed there now to work, as a matter of fact.
All right. Thank you, Christina. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Take care.
Chloe was so pissed at Julian for suggesting this.
I mean, you could also get a forklift and a front end loader, and you could get old Tico trucks.
Let's get Chloe a bucket truck.
Yeah,
Chloe's first vehicle is an old Tico bucket truck.
They have school buses there.
That's true.
I mean, they have a lot of Tampa machinery.
Let me move on here. All right, let's deal with the Super Bowl. Let's grab phone calls. Listen, I'm just going to open up the phones. Your observations. I'm going to tell you what I thought. You can agree or disagree. I thought the game sucked. I thought the commercials sucked. And I thought that the halftime show sucked. I'm sorry. I didn't know one damn thing. Michelle didn't know one damn thing. My phone was blowing up last night. I had a couple of dozen texts from people saying, "What is this halftime show? Worst halftime show ever." So I'm going with they were looking for a three-peat. It was a three suck last night as far as I'm concerned. No, just
it's really dramatic. I want you to three suck.
All right,
the game wasn't an awful game. You're wrong.
40-22 final score, right? 40-22. All right, 800-990-1047. I want to go to phones on this. Any observations? Would you like to comment on the commercials? Would you like to comment on the halftime show? Would you any aspect of Super Bowl 59 in the rear view right now? Let's grab some phone calls from you, the MJ Morning Show listener. I'm going to go through my pile of stuff. So if I miss anything or if you want to comment on what I'm bringing up, feel free. We'll go to phones here in a second. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Let's talk about the arrivals. Did you see the pimpy clown suit that Travis Kelce wore as he was arriving?
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous.
I Festa, bring this up for Michelle to see.
It was like straight out of 1977.
I thought he was doing some period piece. I thought he was, seriously, I thought he was in, some kind of gangster movie or some pimp movie from 1978.
It's like he's the pimp in like a Starsky and Hutch episode.
Oh, my God.
What the what?
Do you have it?
Yeah.
I mean, Michelle, describe what Travis Kelce showed up in.
Burgundy, old, like that wedding singer kind of polyesterish looking.
Open chest. I see sequins on it.
It's awful.
With a brooch. I mean, brooches are very in style right now, by the way. But, on a guy.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Like, if you're a performer guy, maybe, right? Like a Prince could have gotten away with putting a brooch on his, purple suit. But this?
Okay, so Travis Kelce shows up in, all he needed was a furry hat.
Yes.
He should have pulled up, seriously, in like a late 70s Eldorado with huge white wall tires.
And you know what? The shirt that he has on is blousey, but it's kind of like, instead of being gold lame or silver lame, which was really popular, I think, like back in the late 80s, maybe middle 80s, it's burgundy lame. So it's got like that glittery sheen to it, almost like sequiny.
And wait a sec, did you see what Patrick Mahomes showed up in?
I didn't see Pat.
So Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, he jinxed his butt. Patrick Mahomes shows up in Eagles green. What the heck is he doing?
What is he thinking?
All right, look at this. You're looking at the picture?
Yeah.
All right, describe what Patrick Mahomes showed up in, Michelle. Like a freaking leprechaun suit.
It totally looks like the Eagles colors. You know how they kind of, like that kind of greeny blue.
You know what?
In some light.
Guess what? Maybe he's trying to get. Patrick Mahomes does so many damn commercials and endorsements. Maybe he's trying to get the Shamrock Shake endorsement at McDonald's.
Right? Of all the colors to wear that day?
Of all the colors to wear, Fester, 100% right. Patrick Mahomes shows up wearing Eagles green. He's wearing an Eagles green suit. He's wearing an Eagles green tie. What the hell was he thinking?
Although, did you see Jalen Hurts arrive at the Super Bowl?
Well, is he wearing a Chiefs turban? Oh, he's all purple. I don't get that at all.
Fester just stopped talking. I showed it to him.
He showed me the picture. I'm like, wait, what the hell's that?
He shows up like Barney the dinosaur.
He really does.
Yes, he
He's all
is.
purple.
Swear.
I'm serious.
That's a lot of purple there, Jalen.
Do these people have stylists? Or do they pick this crap themselves?
Okay, I will say, Mahomes is dressed very smartly and sharply.
But
Yeah.
he's
However,
wearing Eagles.
right.
All right, Patrick Mahomes is wearing a nicely tailored, good-looking suit, but it's Eagles green.
Yeah. It's a very nice looking suit, but it's totally Eagles green.
Now, was that like a ballsy move to say, hey, listen, I'm so unworried about Super Bowl 59. I'm going to troll the Eagles by showing them that I am so not worried about losing to the Eagles. I'm going to wear their colors getting on the bus and getting the ride to the Superdome yesterday. Unbelievable. All right, so those are the dress observations of just a couple. All right, let's go to phones, and I still have a ton in my pile, so I want to intersperse your phone calls with the Super Bowl recap pile. You know, folks were not happy with John Baptiste's, what is his name? Baptiste? But John Baptiste.
John Baptiste.
No, there's no P. He was the former band director for Stephen Colbert.
Right.
John, and he's a talented dude.
Yes.
But people complained about his national anthem rendition.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, so I mean, you complained.
Look, there's nothing that beats Whitney Houston, right? Her version that was sold
right here in Tampa.
But we recently had a military man who did it. He's done it a few times now. I think his name is Gerald Wilson. He's a former Navy petty officer or something.
Right.
His version was so awesome. And then you get this guy out here, and he just dragging out the end, the last couple of lines, repeating that line.
And that's the issue.
Ugh.
See, I do believe that just do a crisp, sharp. If you want to put a twist on it, okay. But to start like juicing it up and trying to, jazz it up.
Yeah, everybody tries to make it their own song a lot of the times.
But, repeating lyrics and, going into like this whole like multi-layered, repetitive, and that's what John Baptiste did. Now, listen, he's a talented guy. He's a talented singer. He is a very talented musician.
But I also thought his voice was a little weak for it. Like coming off of this other version that I heard and remembering Whitney Houston's version, his voice just didn't resonate.
You can't keep saying
booming.
Whitney Houston every time. Yes, it was great, but you can't compare everyone to Whitney.
But Gerald Wilson was good too.
A little bit of it. All right, Fessa, go to the very end. Go to the very end here. All right, you got it? Very end, hit play. Here we go. Again. For the national anthem, I like simple and elegant, and I don't like all the jazziness going on.
If there's one town in the world that can get away with it, it's New Orleans. They had a big tribute to their culture and their music and their heritage, so I'm not that mad at it. But listen, this song is designed, it's for everybody. You do what you want with it. I'm not that offended by it. Not my cup of tea, but I'm not offended by it.
And then there was a problem with the length of it. And, because people take some of the prop bets on how long the national anthem is going to be.
Oh, yeah, I bet you the over one.
And there was a whole bunch of drama because of the length of the national anthem, because he dragged the thing out. All right, let me go to phones here. And I still have a ton of observations we got to get to. So commercials, the game, the... what else? The commercials? Oh, the halftime show was
show. How could you forget the halftime show,
I know,
MJ?
I know. All three I just didn't think were great for Super Bowl 59. All right, let me go to phones here.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, bring up my phone screener, please. And we'll say hi to line one, and it's Andrea, Lakewood Ranch. Hello, Andrea. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hi, good morning. So I don't know if I'm turning into just a crabby old lady or what, but the halftime show, was I supposed to even understand that? Was I supposed to get that? It sucked. It was the worst ever. It was ridiculous.
All right.
A lot of people believe that, and I had a ton of texts. My daughter is 23. Chloe knew one.
Yeah, what did the young people think?
Chloe knew one song. I should know at least a couple of songs. And I have all of the previous. You know what? I think this is the first time ever in the history of me watching the Super Bowl that I was completely unfamiliar with anything that was performed.
Well, I mean, even if I don't know the song, I was trying to be open-minded to try to understand what he was saying, to figure out if there was some subliminal message that I was supposed to get. I couldn't even understand what the hell he was saying. And I do agree with Fester in terms of, at the beginning, before the game, I did like the culture of I liked the music before the game, and I did appreciate the fact that New Orleans was trying to bring in their culture to the game.
Yeah. Andrea, thanks for the call. Jay is in Lakeland. Jay, you're on the MJ Morning Show Super Bowl observations.
Oh, man, I love the game, man. The Chiefs got their booties handed to them, man. I love it.
A lot of people wanted the Chiefs to be, brought down to, earth and little dose of reality, and certainly that happened. I mean, I was kind of hoping that the Chiefs were going to be left with a goose egg. I mean, listen, how many people were hoping that the Chiefs would end up with 0?
Yeah.
I mean, has there ever been a blowout where the other team had 0 in any Super Bowl?
Oh, gosh.
I don't think so.
I don't know if it's ever been a 0, but there have been a couple of blowouts.
All right, if there was going to be a blowout, we should have done this right, and it should have been 0 on the board for the Kansas City Chiefs. Jay, thanks for the call. Opens up a line, 800-990-1047. Jill is in Port Richey. Jill, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Go Birds!
Yeah, go Birds. So what is your observation, Jill?
I'm a Philly girl, born and raised in Philly, living down here in Florida. I loved it. I love to see the Eagles shut the KC up the same way we shut the Patriots up. Everybody wants to talk trash about us. We're no good. Our quarterback's no good, and we did it. We were just a better team.
I haven't seen. Did Philly burn last night?
Probably.
Yeah. Hey, Andrew, can you go to the Philadelphia websites, please? Go to the TV stations and the Philadelphia Inquirer and see how much destruction occurred in Philly.
It's just another level of passion that you don't understand if you're not from Philly.
Oh yeah, so light things on fire and blow up cars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's love. It comes from within.
Hold on. Vandalism, destruction is love.
Yeah,
Yes.
go Birds. It's really brotherly love.
Comes from a loving place.
The halftime show, I do have to say,
Yeah.
I just don't think people understood it. I don't think they were catering to us older white people.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, and I really don't want to make race a component here because
I'm not making it a race.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me say what I want to say. That there have been phenomenal Black artists that have done halftime shows that are among the best I've ever seen. It has nothing to do with race. It just has to do with the content, and I think the notoriety. Because Kendrick Lamar is just not known by a vast swath of that audience. Say it again.
How many Grammys did the guy just win?
Oh, listen.
He's clearly talented.
In his space, he's an amazing
and
talent.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people that are saying they don't like the Super Bowl show, I feel like that we're an age group over, 40 years old. I'm 41. I happen to know basically every song he sang, and I enjoyed it.
All right. Well, you're in the I think the rare pile because Chloe, my daughter, is 23. She knew one song. What?
She's cheering.
Okay, go Birds! All right, thank you. Thank you, Jill.
About the halftime show, you got to understand, in the years past, at least the recent ones, it's always been a collaboration. So you have Madonna and you have CeeLo Green and Nicki Minaj. You have Beyonce with Destiny's Child, Bruno Mars with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Katy Perry with Missy Elliott. So you have more of a collaboration. And then this one, it was just him.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You try to enjoy the choreography, and then you think about Rihanna's show. Her halftime show was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was.
And his show just seemed to fall a little flat behind hers. And also we had, I think Fester and I talked about the Beyonce halftime show on Christmas Day. And her show was pretty spectacular.
Yeah,
for
the one
being
that they
a
had
Christmas
on the
Day
Netflix show.
Listen,
On the Netflix game.
I absolutely subscribe to the fact that some of the best halftime shows have been Black performers.
Oh, yeah. And
Hands down.
Today I'm going to go ahead and, try to listen to some Kendrick Lamar because I was trying to listen to it and enjoy some of his music. But the choreography, the presentation, the show, when you think about it, I think Prince performed one year, was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Jennifer Lopez with Shakira. I mean, they put on an amazing, amazing show.
So Kendrick Lamar's big song, They're Not Like Us.
Yeah, but that's a diss.
It's a diss
That's
to Drake.
A diss track for Drake, yes.
And did you see Serena Williams dancing?
But he also changed the lyrics, and didn't he undiss?
did?
I believe I read that he undissed the diss track a little bit during
Just by
the
the
Super
fact
Bowl.
that it played, message was sent.
All right. Gavin in Tampa. Gavin, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
What's up? How are you?
Doing well. Go ahead.
So, well, first of all, I want to say I don't know how that woman says she knows all these Kendrick Lamar songs because I'm a 16 and I listen to all this like rap and all that. I knew, God, I didn't really know much at all. So.
All right, so you're calling BS on the 41-year-old lady that just called and said that.
She's capping. I bet if you asked her to come on this.
Hold on, was she's capping?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's lying.
Hold on,
Gavin,
hold on. What does that mean?
Maybe he's lying. Yeah,
She's
Gavin.
lying.
All right.
She might know the songs. You don't know what everybody listens to, and that's no cap.
I don't know. I think she's lying. No,
Listen,
I'm not gonna lie.
listen, don't be getting all Sigma on me up here. Roll call into the morning show talking about who's capping, who's not
I
capping.
love it. I've got a 41-year-old woman, and then I go to a 16-year-old kid who's calling BS on the 40-year-old lady. It's great.
I swear, and because also it was not good at all. Like it really wasn't. You know, you guys saw when SZA came on. Did you see that part?
Yeah, I did. Of course. Yeah, I know SZA. Yes.
That was actually good.
All right, so thumbs up on SZA. Gavin, thanks for calling, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, if you're listening, woman, you're lying. That's all I gotta say. Thank you.
Thanks.
Put a cap in you. Different kind of cap.
Christina in Dunedin. Christina, MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hey, tell that kid skibbity toilet. Isn't that one of his millennial Gen X terms? I'm 49 years old. I love the show. I love Kendrick. I knew the majority of the songs.
Yeah.
And the purpose of him being there was to diss Drake. Like, if no one gets that, then that's the problem. Like, but he was there to diss Drake.
Hold on, you think the NFL hired Kendrick Lamar to do the halftime show, so the NFL was in on the conspiracy to diss Drake?
Yes.
Maybe, but I know Drake only took that to say F you to, Kendrick only took that job to say F you to Drake on a major platform. He doesn't care what anyone thought about his performance. He wanted to say F you to him. Did you see his eyes in the camera when he said, "Hey, Drake, I hear you like him young"? Did you see his face? Pure evil in those eyes. Like he wanted to get him.
All right, thank you, Christina.
Yeah. And then the whole crowd
It was
said,
fantastic. DNA, humble, all the stars. Like, come on, people get with it. Oh, because he's not your genre. It was fantastic and kick ass.
You're
All
right.
right. Hey, Christina, 49-year-old white female from Dunedin.
Christina, what about when the whole crowd yelled A minor?
That's right.
I fell out when that happened.
All right.
I was like,
Exactly,
oh,
like
man.
at the Grammys too. At the Grammys too, he was singing and everyone said A minor.
And then,
Everyone.
then Serena Williams was doing the Crip, right? She's dancing on the podium, and she's Drake's ex.
It was great.
Thank you, Christina. Hey, see, you never know what kind of calls we're going to get here. How about Penelope in Polk County? Penelope, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey there.
Hey.
I have just a couple of things to say.
Yep.
Did not like the openings, John Batiste or whatever his name is, or Lauren Daigle singing. They both jazzified their songs.
Yeah, Lauren
They would've
Daigle.
been-
Orleans. She did America the
I know.
Beautiful, and then, of course, Batiste did the national anthem. Yep.
Right. And I get that. And I get the fact that it's New Orleans, and I get that. I understood all of that. The game sucked. The Chiefs failed to show up for the game, and so they thought they were just going to walk on the field and win regardless because of being there for the third time.
Hey, Penelope, let me ask you a question. Did you see Tom Cruise and the little intro before the game started?
Yes, I'm pretty positive I did.
I mean, you can't even recognize Tom Cruise.
No, his hair looked fake. Didn't it look fake?
But his face, he's
aged.
Well,
That's his problem.
I think he's had a lot of work done, but remember in the last couple of years that we've seen Tom Cruise. I mean,
He doesn't look like the Tom Cruise you have in your
hang on.
head.
Tom Cruise looked like Tom Cruise, and then it seemed like a couple of years ago, somebody flicked the switch, and then Tom Cruise stopped looking like Tom Cruise.
But I think what you're saying is, he might have just come off of having something done, right? Because then when you see him in movies or you see him in other presentations, then his face kind of slims down again.
Listen, he's
So I
becoming
don't know
like
what he's doing.
he's becoming like the Jennifer Grey after the nose job.
Oh,
Seriously,
not that bad. Come on,
I barely recognized Just like you couldn't recognize the Dirty Dancing Jennifer Grey after the nose job. I mean, you can barely recognize Tom Cruise
Not
now.
true.
It's really obscure to
Well,
reference
I don't
a
know if it's
30-year-old
that
movie.
bad, but he has had something done. But my last comment is I don't like, or I didn't care for the halftime show because the little people in the red, white, and blue look like Oompa Loompas to me out there on whatever they were on.
You know, I
And
got
I'm
an
sorry.
Oompa Loompa vibe from them, and that made it better for me.
Thanks, Penelope. Have a good one. The celebrities in the crowd, just, the camera shots, couple of observations. The celebrities in the crowd, when they did the cutaway shot, I saw Paul McCartney.
They showed Paul McCartney and Adam Sandler, John.
Yep, I saw Paul McCartney and Adam Sandler. I saw Pete Davidson sitting next to Kevin Costner.
What the heck were they even talking about? I mean, talk about like.
Hey, let me show you my tattoos that I'm having laser removed.
He doesn't have many left.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, look at all these tattoos that I've had removed via laser on my arms.
Which, by the way, I heard is very, very painful to do.
Yeah, if you think, I guess if you think getting a tattoo is painful, having it reversed and having it lasered off, that's pretty. So Pete Davidson and Kevin Costner.
What is that?
I have no idea. Then Paul Rudd. I saw him a couple of times. Anne Hathaway, Lady Gaga, just some of the celebs in the audience. Let's grab, how about Estelle in Tampa? Estelle, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, Estelle. Go ahead.
I'm 15 for the record, and I knew every single Kendrick Lamar song and SZA, as well as my 46-year-old mother. And I feel like a lot of people just don't like it because there were, like, not as much performance, like, for the Rihanna show, for example. Like, there were a lot of aspects to it, like the floating stage and stuff. But I feel like he was just more trying to tell an art piece of, like, how everybody's judging because he had, like, Uncle Sam being like, no, this is too ghetto.
Well, Uncle Sam was Samuel L. Jackson. It really was your Uncle Sam. And that was a surprise. No one knew that like 3 or 4 times that Samuel L. Jackson was going to show. He should have whipped out his wallet.
What's in your wallet?
No. The wallet from the movie.
Oh.
The member from Pulp Fiction.
Listen. Bad mother bleeper.
Bad mother bleeper wallet. That's what he should have whipped out. Estelle, so you have thumbs up on the show.
Yeah, and so does Mom. Mom is 46, and yeah. So Kendrick and SZA, there was pretty much storytelling, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. There was a lot of hidden, messages. Like the red, white, and blue was Yes USA, but he also tries to unite. I know this is not the best thing to say, but the Crips and the Bloods from LA. So there's a lot of hidden messages behind it.
Really?
And then was it Serena or Venus, whoever that was? That's Drake's ex-girlfriend from one point.
I love it when a 15-year-old girl is schooling me.
So Serena's Drake's ex.
And she also is a little girl from Compton that made it. That's why she's in that tennis skirt. So there's a lot of hidden meaning behind the show. And that's why a lot of people don't understand. It was art. It wasn't really more of a, hey, I'm Taylor Swift, look at my fireworks, look at my, my costumes. It was pretty much a presentation, but it was a story.
It sounds like
that's where a lot of people get it.
We should have had Estelle do a whole rundown for us about the halftime show.
Estelle is one put together 15-year-old girl.
Yeah. Bring her in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Estelle, where do you go to school?
Steinbrenner.
Yep, Estelle from Steinbrenner's got it going on. Thank you, Estelle.
Thank you.
Have a great one. I love the listenership. We've got the widest demographic listenership in the entire market. Let me grab Madden in Tampa. Madden, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hey, MJ. I think you said it pretty well. It's just, I think it's not wide enough. Rap's too small as like a group. I think when they do pop, it's usually a lot more wide. Like everyone knows it.
Yeah. Well, it's called mass appeal. It was not mass appeal, the halftime show.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Kendrick. It was good for a small group, but not for everyone else.
Madden, how old are you?
I'm 17.
Thank you. Man, this is 15, 16, 17 is fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madden. Where do you go to school, Madden?
I go to Plant. And
yep.
Huh?
Oh, you're going to say something else?
Oh yeah, and I was gonna say, I feel like on the broadcast, I feel like the scoreboard was very basic.
Yeah, so that's on my listen. Madden, great observation. That is on my list as well to talk about because I had several people that I know text me and it's like, what's going on with the score graphics? And I think that Fox was going for something minimalist to kind of.
They got it.
So the scoreboard, the graphics, the lower third of the screen where you have the score and the stats on the screen. This year, instead of having like an elaborate graphic, Fox clearly decided to go minimalist and keep the screen a little clearer with less clutter. I got to be honest. I kind of like the minimalist score at the bottom of the screen, although a lot of people. So you didn't like it? You thought it was?
I think they should have put a little bit more jazz into it instead of just putting a box.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I think it was a little bit. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Matt. I appreciate you bringing that up. That was on my list. Man, we got some sharp teenagers calling the show today. Yeah. It's fantastic. 800-990-1047. Every line is jammed. Let me grab, and again, I don't want to miss. Say your name again. I know that you told me how to say your name when I met you at Armature Works a couple of weeks back, but say it again.
It's Keenal.
It's Keenal. So I've said Keenal before, but it's Keenal. I just got to remember Keenal from Wesley Chapel. And Michelle, Keenal came out to remember when I went to Armature Works with Chloe and Han Handroll Bar brought in the 350-pound bluefin tuna for the Lunar New Year, and they cut that thing up. Keenal and her family came out, so it was great to meet you. Keenal, go ahead. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, everybody. Hey, Michelle.
Hi.
So the game, I'm with Michelle and Chloe on that. The game was really good because everybody was knowing that, everybody thought that the Chiefs were going to, dominate Eagles, and it turned out the other way around, and I loved it. I loved it that the Chiefs got shown up by the Eagles. Mm-hmm. And there were a couple of good commercials. But what's happening nowadays, MJ, is that all these commercials, they come out on social media before the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So they don't have the same impact at Super Bowl. Like the one by Jeep did a really good commercial with Harrison Ford.
By the way, that was a 2-minute commercial.
Yeah.
So the Super Bowl ad time came in at about $8 million for 30 seconds. That means that I'm sure they got a quantity discount, but if you go with the rack rate, so that Jeep commercial near the end of the game, it was a 2-minute Jeep commercial with Harrison Ford. So that at face value, that's a $32 million 2-minute commercial. Holy schnit.
I know, yeah. It was an expensive commercial. But you know what? They did a really good job with it. And at the end of the commercial, Harrison Ford goes, he's like, I should know. My last name is Ford. Mm-hmm. And I tried to keep it. And I was just like, oh, man. I was like, damn. I'm like, somebody at Ford is losing out right now on a job.
All right, Keenal, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. But listen, you bring up a great point. And I haven't even touched on the commercials. But Keenal added a great point to the fact that they're kind of diluting and they're kind of negating the expectation and the element of surprise with some of the commercials coming out early. But also, I just was not impressed with most of the commercials. Did I make a note on a few commercials? Yes, and we'll get to that here in a minute. But also, I think we're desensitized. There's such a high expectation for the great commercials over the years that there's just kind of a diminishing return, or we're so used to it that it just takes more and more to make us check the box that says, oh man, the commercials were great.
Well, so many of the commercials were a minute or longer.
There were a lot of those.
But it's like mini movies to where the great ones get right to the joke. You get it immediately what the gag is, and you have 30 seconds to do it.
The first spot up was Duncan. So once the game had started, the first commercial was another Ben Affleck Duncan spot, and I thought it was great. But Michelle said, My God, there were like tons of Easter eggs in this thing.
Ah.
You said there's
I
so much
loved it.
going on, you
Yeah.
know.
It was a little busy, but if you're like paying attention and you get even half of them, it's entertaining.
But what about Belichick and his 24-year-old hot girlfriend
Hello?
lurking in the background? You got
Belichick.
Belichick and his 24-year-old little
Jordan.
You know what?
Yeah.
He owns it. He put her in the commercial with him. They've got him with
He walks the red carpet with her.
Right.
It's his.
It's
Good.
his. There you go.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. I agree, Fester.
ZFG on that one.
All right. Floyd and Sefner. Floyd, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs threw the game because Kelsey didn't want to have to propose to Taylor Swift.
Oh, the Chiefs threw the game. The Chiefs threw the game so Kelsey would not have to propose to Taylor.
He said, no, we are not winning this game.
No way.
Oh, man. Yeah, because that was the rumor going around that if the Chiefs won, that Kelsey, Travis Kelsey was going to propose to Taylor Swift in the middle of the field. Thank you, Floyd. Let me grab James up in Middleborough, Kentucky. James, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning.
Yeah, go ahead.
I say go Birds. I like the fact that, I'm a Bucks fan through and through. And I like the fact that they didn't get the three-peat. And as you think about it, when's the last time you seen the Chiefs lose?
Well, that's the point.
The last time they lost in the Super Bowl was to the.
When's the last time you seen the Chiefs in the Super Bowl?
The last time they lost was to the Buccaneers back when it was a Super Bowl.
My point exactly. 31-9. That was a blowout.
Yeah. So listen, bottom line is that they were looking for the three-peat. They're not getting the three-peat. And in fact, if the Chiefs did win, then you know what it would have been called, right?
What?
Not a three-peat. It would have been called a three-cheat. Because listen, hey, guess what? The Chiefs got an early favorable call. Like one of the first calls in the game was favorable. Which
there was one later in the first quarter that went the other way against the Chiefs. Listen, the refs aren't in on it. They're not.
All right, Darla in Clearwater. Just a few more calls on this, and then we got to move on. I got a lot of the things to get to today. But, look, day after the Super Bowl, we're going to spend some time on this thing. Darla, Clearwater, MJ Morning Show, you're up. Hello.
Hi. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm getting ready to go into work, and I thought I was going to have to hang up.
No, you're on. Go, Darla.
Yeah, so it's my grandkids. The age is 17, 15, and 9 that know Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
But how about The Weeknd? What about his halftime show? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, when the Super Bowl was in Tampa?
Yeah, when they were all wearing jock straps on their heads.
Yes, I recall.
So that was a horrible halftime show.
I thought The Weeknd had a great halftime
You know
show.
what? Guys don't wear jock straps anymore, do they? Seriously,
I wouldn't know. Do you?
My dad wore a jock strap. My uncles wore but
Do you?
it's like, no, well, you should. Our generation, there's like no
Hold on,
jock
your dad
straps.
would wear a jock strap just walking around town?
I don't know, but I just
No.
remember my dad had a jock, but guys
And
don't
the
wear.
only song I knew that he sang was from 50 Shades of Grey.
All right,
okay.
Thank you, Darla. Appreciate you calling.
Have a good day.
You can go to
Pittsburgh.
what?
Pittsburgh. I'm from Pittsburgh, actually.
All right.
Maybe next
You
year.
can go. You can go into work now, Darla. Have a good day.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Cheryl and all right, Andrew. Every line is still ringing. I'm gonna grab 3 more here. I'm gonna grab Cheryl, Lloyd, and Rodney, and then I'm shutting it down. Cheryl, MJ Morning Show, Tampa. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys. I've been listening to you guys for like 15, 20 years, you and Fester. So
Thank you.
I just want to tell you guys I love your show. And I did not like the Super Bowl at all. And the thing with Lauren Daigle is I am very active in my church. I sing in praise band. I sing in choir. So it was a big deal because Lauren Daigle is a big Christian music singer.
Yep.
And so when she came out and started singing, I did not like the version that they did in that jazz thing because it's not traditional. So I didn't.
It's okay.
She didn't bring it, and neither did the other guy, Jean Baptiste or whatever. I don't even know who that was, and I'm like, that does not sound patriotic, the way they remixed it. So I didn't like it.
I don't know. I mean, we are the land of the free. You can kind of change up a song a little bit.
Land of the freestyle.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Cheryl.
We're land of the free. Don't change that damn song, though.
Lloyd and Brandon. Lloyd, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good show as always. Hey, I'm going to stick up for Lauren Daigle. I know the song has reverence and it has meaning, but I loved it. I thought it was a beautiful change, and I'd love to hear it again.
Maybe Fester can, bring it up for us. Thank you, Lloyd. All right, final call on this. Rodney is in Newport Richie. Rodney, MJ Morning Show. Hello, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually think it was borderline racist, the halftime show. I'm a long-time Super Bowl fan. I think Apple needs to lose their contract and never do another halftime show again. Not to sound rude, there wasn't one white dancer, one white Spanish dancer. Half the people that were at the Super Bowl party didn't even know who this guy was, couldn't understand a damn word he was saying. I'm very disappointed with the halftime show. But the game overall, I think the game was great, but they need to figure out about the halftime show. I mean, if they lost MTV lost the contract because of what happened between Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake back in the wardrobe failure.
Yeah.
I think Apple needs to lose this.
That would be a wardrobe malfunction, by the way.
Listen.
Yeah, there you go.
Listen,
But I honestly think
because,
that
Rodney,
it was
Rodney.
borderline racist.
All right, Rodney, just because there's not a bunch of white people jumping around, it doesn't mean it's racist. all
I
right?
didn't say that.
Yeah,
Don't put
no,
words
that's
in my
exactly-
mouth.
that's
I didn't
exactly
say
Fester,
that.
don't put words in his
No,
mouth.
that's exactly what you said.
I didn't say
Rodney,
that.
what you said was, it was borderline racist because there wasn't any white
Exactly.
people.
Yeah,
There wasn't any Spanish white people.
what's the MJ Morning Show without Fester getting into a fight with a caller?
Yeah, I mean, Rodney, listen, it's okay.
Exactly.
Rodney,
I'll
it's
meet
okay.
you in the parking lot when I get back.
Okay, I'll meet you in the parking lot when I get back. All right, you're a tough guy.
You
All right,
guys
listen.
have a great day. I love you.
All right, I love you too,
Bye,
Rodney.
Rodney.
And Rodney, it's okay to be completely wrong because you are. It's okay. I don't hold it against you.
Oh,
Yeah, it's completely racist.
This has been the Super Bowl on the MJ Morning Show. You got
All right,
some
so here's Lauren Dangle.
Lauren Dangle.
I thought I said Lauren Dangle. Sorry. What's your last name?
Daigle.
Daigle?
Yeah.
And then
and she used to be in accounting at Clear Channel years ago as well.
and then Trombone Shorty.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll that. Yeah, so yeah, the trombone guy. The tuba dude, I think they just got off the street off of Bourbon Street. I think he's a well-known tuba guy.
He's pretty awesome.
Yeah. See, I didn't mind that. I thought that was good.
Anybody calling in saying they're upset that they jazzified a song in New Orleans
But
have bigger
Fester,
issues.
to your point, it's in New Orleans, and if there's one city that you could think of that has musical influence, I mean, we have several in our country. Is New Orleans one of them?
New Orleans, Memphis, St. Louis,
Nashville. If the Super Bowl were in Nashville, what would you think is going to happen?
Well, it sounded a lot more Conway Twitty-ish.
Right.
Than,
right.
And it's the way it is. It's okay.
All right. The commercials, anything stand out? The first commercial was that Duncan spot. You got the Ben Affleck back. There's like so much crap going on in that commercial. I thought that was pretty decent.
Mhm.
That was a minute spot. You know what I don't pay attention to?
What?
I don't pay attention to the movie commercials. In the Super Bowl, the commercials that are promoting, a new Marvel movie or coming this summer. Or
How
whatever.
to Train Your Dragon is coming out, and I'm like,
yay!
It's a minute commercial on this movie.
I don't qualify or classify those as like Super Bowl spots. The movie promotional commercials, I tune those out.
Except, which one was the big one in the beginning that you should have been paying attention to?
Which one? I don't know. Tell me.
Mission Impossible! The last one in the
yeah.
franchise is coming out in May.
I missed the last three of them. I think
Well-
you've seen them with the kids, but I think I've missed the last
We'll be binging those before May.
three.
I mean, the Billy Crystal one at Cat's Deli.
What'd you think?
I thought that was
Clever.
funny in
Very
a
clever.
reminiscent way.
that was for Hellman's mayonnaise.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so there was a story about 2 weeks ago about Billy Crystal talking about redoing, or not redoing, but a reunion or
A reenactment.
No. I think he was talking about potentially like a reboot of When Harry Met Sally.
Oh, yeah.
Was that sort of a little Easter egg drop for the upcoming Hellman's commercial, which ran last night?
I thought that was a good commercial if you know the reference.
Right.
Seal.
But also, let me go back to the Hellman's mayonnaise thing. They wimped out on having her have a real big O reenactment like in When Harry Met Sally. So they really kind of chickened out, and they didn't do a
Oh, God.
Yes.
Oh,
See,
yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
see, she was just like kind of banging the table. It was a half-ass big O
Yes.
in the Hellman's commercial.
Yes.
What were you going to say, Fester?
I thought the Mountain Dew Seal commercial, which we talked about on Friday.
Yeah.
I thought that was...
Michelle thought that was creepy.
Creepy cute.
Exactly. Because, you know what? And then I liked the lyrics. My flippers can't hold Mountain Dew. It slips right on through. What a shame.
It was
come
pretty
on.
creative.
Yeah.
I think bottom line is Seal's obviously broke, and
No.
he needed the money.
No, he doesn't need the
He
money.
gets paid alimony.
You know what? Somebody finally pitched him with an idea that made him laugh. And he's like, all right, I'll do that.
Yeah, who was his model wife?
Heidi Klum.
Heidi Klum,
Yeah.
that's right.
Your girl.
Yeah,
Back in the day.
My girl.
Uh-huh.
I thought that even though I'm not going to Little Caesars to buy any of their stuff, I thought that the Eugene Levy,
The mustache, eyebrows?
from Schitt's Creek, I thought that Eugene Levy's flying eyebrows, I thought that was pretty cute. And then his kid then shows up in that Homes.com commercial.
Too many.
Yeah, with the girl from Saturday Night Live. What's her name? Heidi
Gardner.
Heidi Gardner, yeah.
And then Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, then Morgan Freeman pops up in that commercial as well.
Too many of those.
Yeah. I thought the Coors Light, the sloth commercial, I thought that was pretty funny.
Entertaining.
I thought that was good.
What about the Willem Dafoe, Catherine O'Hara, Michelob Ultra, where they were?
pickleball one?
Yeah, the pickle. I thought that was pretty clever.
All right.
They're hustling.
I liked
for the
Willem,
beer.
Yeah, I thought Willem Dafoe was pretty funny in that.
Yeah.
I thought that this was a little odd. Michelle says, only you. There was a commercial for Liquid Death, which
I
is
thought that was hysterical.
which is just a sparkling water commercial.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's both all kinds.
Yeah, Liquid Death,
Yeah,
right?
it's water.
So it's not an alcoholic beer. It's water, Liquid Death, right? I'm not a fan of the name. That's number one. But number two, when they ran the Liquid Death commercial,
Yeah.
the first scene in the Liquid Death commercial is a commercial airline pilot in uniform in the cockpit drinking Liquid Death. I'm like, oh man, it's been a rough couple of weeks for plane. I really need a pilot drinking Liquid Death. We just had the American. We just had the jet crash in Philly. We just had another commuter up in Alaska went down. I don't know, a pilot drinking Liquid Death right now. I don't know. I just thought, and Michelle's like, oh, only you thought of that.
Seriously,
you know?
only that's MJ thinking too much.
All right. I think that's about it. So I think we're done with the Super Bowl. Anything else I'm missing?
I think so. Well, a couple of things. Chloe pointed out that Aubrey Plaza, she was in a Ritz Crackers commercial, but her husband just died from suicide back in January.
Oof.
Yeah,
That's
so
morbid.
Chloe was surprised to see that.
Mm.
You talk about the quality of the commercials, and they're not like as resonating with us. But there's a lot of medical organizations that advertise.
Pfizer had a really good spot with a little kid kind of reenacting the Rocky thing, beating cancer.
I loved it.
That was a cute spot.
That
No,
was
you're
a
right.
great
You're right.
one.
My wife saw it out of the corner of her eye, and she's like, "What's going on here?" And my daughter's like, "The kid just rang the bell and he beat cancer."
Yeah,
Right.
that was
and
nice.
it made sense there.
Because
That was
usually
nice.
those commercials are pretty sad
Yeah.
or hard. And this one was like all about fighting, to the finish.
And then there's my favorite commercial.
Which one?
The Novartis breast cancer awareness commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was like 55 seconds of boobs. And then Wanda Sykes at the end saying, "Hey, get yourself checked." And I'm like, you could hear a pin drop around my recliner during that commercial. I'm like, what is this for?
Right.
This is the best commercial ever.
But I love that one. You didn't mention the beluga whale commercial. I thought you would love that
That was
one.
cute. Yeah.
Very cute.
Yeah,
right?
like the scuba dive around some belugas.
Still, these commercials are running too long. You got to tell your joke in
Yeah.
30. I watched one of those compilation shows of best Super Bowl commercials like a week ago.
Yeah.
And they were all the 30-second ones. The Budweiser commercials
right.
were 30 seconds. The Doritos were 30 seconds.
If you look at a list of the best ones ever, the Budweiser, I think, has like 3, 4, 5 commercials. The frogs, a couple of different, Budweiser commercials are listed as the best.
Yeah.
I don't think, though, the recent years have provided commercials that would end up on the Super Bowl Hall of Fame best commercials list. All right, finally here.
Yeah.
Tom Brady was wearing a $740,000 watch. Also, I noticed this. Did you see when Tom Brady and the other, who's the play-by-play guy? Who's the
somebody?
Anyway, so Tom Brady paired up with the play-by-play dude. So about midway through, remember they did a stand-up and they had their suit jackets off. Why did Tom Brady appear all lopsided? Like his whole left side, like his left shoulder was all like caved. It was like caved in.
He has hip dysplasia.
I don't know what's going on, but if you look at Tom Brady, like his right shoulder was all like upright and broad, and then his left shoulder, it was like it's all slumped,
Okay.
like somebody dropped a giant
Yes.
piece of concrete on it or something.
Can I just point out something?
Yeah.
That right arm and right shoulder has been worked for 20-something
Yeah,
years.
all
There
right.
might be a reason why the right shoulder looks a little more.
He was all slumpy.
physique and in place in the left.
But then
one.
he had a $740,000 watch on.
Hey, good for
Wait,
him.
was that on the left arm? Because that might have been weighing it down.
All right. So I don't have a problem with Tom Brady wearing a $740,000 watch, but it was a hideous $740,000. It was just grotesque. It was a Jacob and Company yellow sapphire caviar tourbillon. Retails for $740,000. And it's just, I'm sorry, I'm a watch guy. I don't have anything at $740,000, but it's just a hideous looking watch. I'm sorry, Tom. Sorry, Jacob. Sorry, Tom. But the watch is just hideous.
So
yeah,
the most egregious thing Tom Brady did was before the game when they did the New Orleans tribute with the Lady Gaga song on Bourbon Street.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
How does the always put together Tom Brady
Mm-hmm.
not tuck in his shirt completely?
All crumpled on the left side.
Yeah, like he threw it on last second, tucked in half of it, like he's doing the walk of shame.
Yeah, where were the stylists saying, "Hey, Tom, you look all disheveled"?
Well, look at him; he looks awful. And Michael Strahan's, everybody's wearing the NOLA Strong shirt. He's wearing an LA Fire Department shirt.
It looked like Michael Strahan and Tom Brady were getting all handsy with each other back in the alley before they walked out.
He looks that kind of disheveled. Like they were making out right before the camera.
That's what I'm saying.
And action.
That's Why didn't anyone say, "Hey, Tom, you look all disheveled. Your shirt's hanging out"?
Hey, Tom, tuck that in a little bit.
All right. So that wraps up Super Bowl chatter here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105.
In spite of what you say, it was a great game.
All right, let's talk about my mom's fridge. Did you see the video on my Instagram?
I saw it on mute. I was driving.
Dude,
I
you
wasn't driving.
gotta listen to the audio.
I was at a stoplight. I wasn't driving, but I was at a stoplight.
Bring up my and there's other things that once I stopped recording, there were other things in the fridge that didn't even make it to the video. So we go over to Fort Lauderdale early Saturday morning. We caught a Spirit flight. It was me, Michelle, and Chloe. My mom's 80th birthday this weekend, so we all went over to celebrate, hang with my mother and father in Fort Lauderdale. And Michelle, what triggered? I mean, first of all, the fridge is just like a dumpster in there. It's a mess. Wouldn't you agree?
It's a bit of a mess.
Oh, don't tone it down. Come on.
It was a bit of a mess.
Yeah, it's
what was it?
The fridge looks like a dumpster. It does.
Honestly,
a dumpster.
I think everything in there just needs to be thrown out.
Yeah.
And just restocked.
I think the whole fridge. It's a pretty new Frigidaire. It's a Highline Frigidaire.
Right.
And I think the whole fridge ought to be thrown out.
Possibly.
All right, so Fester, bring up my Instagram, and then Michelle has a couple of additions.
Is it Repulsive Mom's Fridge Purge?
No.
I mean, that's a pretty aggressive title.
Of course it is.
I know, but it's aggressive is what I'm saying.
The title on this, it's on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. Take a look inside my parents' fridge.
Marinara sauce.
Repulsive. Listen, hold on. Repulsive Mom's Fridge Purge. reset the audio, and then hit unmute, and let's go. Hit it and go. You got stuff playing. Shut stuff off. All right, shut it off. There we go.
I got my Kendrick
All right,
Lamar
go ahead and restart it.
All right, where is it, right? 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
restart.
go and hit it. Listen to this. Hey, it's MJ from the MJ Morning Show on Q105 Tampa Bay, 104.7 FM. Michelle and I are in Fort Lauderdale at my parents' house, and we're cleaning out their fridge. Yeah, my mom's 80th birthday was yesterday. What is that?
Something.
Oh my God! The whole cap is bloated.
Here.
Holy crap! All right, that's going in the trash. All right. What else? What the? What is that?
I don't know.
What is? Stop. Pieces of cheese. Mom, why the hell is this in
for the bird?
Oh, what the hell? Crusted chunks of like American cheese slices. Listen to this.
Best by October 3rd, 2022.
What?
Oh my God.
Best by 2022. Cream cheese. Mom,
I just need your help.
this cream cheese is from 2022. Oh my God! What? The sauerkraut. Look at this. The cap is rusted. What the? Oh my God! All right. So I stopped recording. There's a half-used can of sauerkraut. The whole cap is rusted. The cream cheese had an expiration date or a Best By date of October of 2022.
All right, hold on. Is it
what the?
Could it be possibly because? I mean, I've met your mom half a dozen times. She's not the tallest person, and it's all on the top shelf. A lot of the stuff. I mean, does she put it up there and forget about it?
Listen to this.
You know.
So I wasn't rolling video on this. Michelle, what else did you find in there?
Well, first of all, there was raisin bread from September 6th. And I'm guessing that means September 6th of last year.
We hope. We
Yeah,
can only hope.
I know.
We can only hope.
Right. So, and then you said to my mom, you said, Elle, you've got bread in here from September 6th. And what did she say to you?
Well, it's in the refrigerator, so it's still good.
It's fine.
My mom said it's the plastic little tag on the bag. Best By September 6th. And my mom's like, oh, it's in the fridge. It's still good. September, October, November, December, January. 5 months old raisin bread in the fridge.
Oh, that's hysterical.
What was it, like Pepperidge Farm or something?
Yeah, it was, I think, the raisin toast. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You know what? I bet you almost every old person's fridge is like this
Totally.
in some way.
But here's the thing. They haven't been in that house for very long, but you know what they did when they moved is they actually brought refrigerated food from the, like most people I think clean it out. Right, exactly. Like just throw everything away and buy fresh. Like it's just a clean slate. And when I talked to your mom the last time and she was like, oh, we just packed it up and brought it. And I'm like, you brought refrigerated food from that house to this one? Like, why?
They did.
Yeah.
Well, it's still good.
That is insane.
It's for the birds.
Speaking of insane, folks, if you want to see the video of my mom's fridge,
I love your mom's fridge.
It's on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. I remember that years ago, my cousin Gary and myself, we cleaned out our grandmother's pantry.
Yes.
And we found canned goods that were 20 to 25 years old in the pantry.
Yeah.
And they were bloated. And I mean, it was like a botulism bomb waiting to go off.
And you have to wonder, she never would have noticed that the can was in that condition. She probably would have eaten it and then been sick, maybe. And everybody would have
been sick. She would have died.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Botulism's a real thing.
I know, but, and everybody would have been like, how did she get sick? How did this happen?
Botulism.
We got to talk about, speaking of botulism, we got to talk about Kanye West. Or Ye. Dude, you didn't see all his Nazi and crazy tweets?
No, this was a Kanye-free weekend for me. I'm sorry.
My God, Michelle.
What?
I mean, you saw all these tweets.
I did, because Julian called us on Friday, I guess, maybe after we got home, and he said what did he say? Did I see that Kanye was crashing out?
Yeah, he crashed out all right.
And I was like, what do you mean? Because I was like, crashing out. And he was like, yeah, don't you know what that means, Mom? And then he had to kind of explain it to me. And I was like, oh.
Was that like burning in flames or?
Yeah, like going off the rails.
Self-destructive?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Kanye started tweeting a slew of posts on, X, former Twitter. And on Friday, he was like crashing out or melting down. he was tweeting or Xing, whatever the hell you're saying now.
Uh-huh.
I love Hitler. I'm a Nazi. I mean, what is this guy? Clearly has a mental illness problem that's manifesting itself. What?
No. Julian said Kanye now says it was a social experiment.
Oh, get out of here!
And that
Come
everyone
on.
is
All right.
racist or something.
Kanye West is a mental case. He has an untreated mental illness. Come on, it's crystal clear. Who tweets "I love Hitler"? I'm a Nazi, and then he had written, "I am never apologizing for my Jewish comments. I can say whatever the F I want to say forever. Where's my effing apology for freezing my accounts?" Then he said, Jewish people don't run me no more. Some of my best friends are Jewish, and I don't trust any of them.
I mean, what is a friend if you don't trust them?
What a lunatic.
And then a laughing and a crying emoji.
What a lunatic.
Then he says, I'm buying 2 My Box tomorrow. I'm going to make the Jewish person who's selling it to me read all these tweets, and I bet you see me whipping My Box. That's the very expensive Mercedes brand, above Mercedes, Maybach. Then he tweets, I'm racist. Stereotypes exist for a reason, and they all be true. I don't even know what the F anti-Semitic means.
It's exactly what
it's
you're
just
doing.
some bull bleep Jewish people made up to protect their bull bleep. I mean, this is just a meltdown. And then what? To clean it up, he's now saying, oh, this was just a social experiment. Dude, the guy is a mental case.
And now his account is not available anymore. And he apparently, before this, he started posting porn with visible appendages.
Visible appendages.
That's the report I'm getting from Julian.
Does that mean a wiener?
He posted all white people are racist and Jewish people actually hate white people and use the black people.
All right, why are we giving this guy even a forum? I mean, listen, this guy's nuts. Nobody argues that except him.
So Kanye, and now his account is deactivated, or it's on hold.
I don't know what the technical status is, but he either quit it or it's been deactivated. Although remember, it was canceled once before, and then I think when Elon Musk bought it, he reinstated it. So
Elon's like, never mind.
He writes, he writes any Jewish person, but he doesn't spell any A-N-Y. He spells it Amy. Amy Jewish person that does business with me needs to know I don't like or trust any Jewish person. AMD, A-M-D. This is AMD, the chip maker, saying, keep our name out of this. AMD, this completely sober with no Hennessy. So he's saying that he's completely sober when he writes this without drinking Hennessy. I'm never apologizing for my Jewish comments. Anyway,
the guy's a nutcase.
Kanye, yay, with another.
We need a Kanye ban. I mean, we've had bans of particular people on this show for certain amounts of time. We need to give them like a 1-year probation.
Oh, by the way, the FBI is issuing another warning about those texts that are hitting, and it happened twice over the weekend where I was at my mom's house. The texts about you have an overdue toll violation. Yeah, so the FBI is actually issuing an urgent cyber warning to delete these messages immediately. And the FBI believes, and a lot of people have gotten this. I've gotten it. Michelle's gotten it. We were at my mom and dad's house in Fort Lauderdale, and my mom got the you have a toll violation that's unpaid. My mom got the text, and my aunt, my mom's sister, was also there, and she got the text as well. And then I see the story last night about the FBI issuing a cybersecurity warning to just don't answer these, delete. And we talked about this a couple of months ago. We started getting word of these phony texts going around, and the hook is that you've got toll violations, and don't click on them, erase them. So the FBI is saying, don't even leave them in your text lineup. What do you call it? Your text threads. Just erase them. Report them as spam. Erase them. And the FBI is saying that they're pretty sure that it's Chinese cyber criminals behind the phony toll unpaid toll charge text. So they're pretty sure it's the Chinese cyber criminals behind those. So heads up on that.
Delete them right away.
Yeah. Nah. Well, hold on. Andrew's saying that we got some calls.
You want to go back to the Kanye stuff, or
you know what? I'm moving on from Kanye. Right. Hey, tell Macy thank you, but I'm moving on from Kanye. I do appreciate it. Michelle, what do you think about the skinny jean making the comeback? You care?
Nah, not really. I don't love skinny jeans. Then I found skinny jeans that fit me, but then that brand stopped making skinny jeans. I love skinny jeans in the winter because they fit inside your boots very nicely.
Yes.
But then outside of that, boo.
Okay, hold on. If they make a skinny jean in size 48, I'm down for it. I'm not mad at it.
Skinny jeans.
But you know what? What do I always tell you when we go to buy you jeans?
Skinnier?
Skinny jeans.
Skinny jeans.
Yeah, Michelle tries to get me to wear tight jeans.
Skinny jean MJ.
Yeah.
From black jeans to skinny jeans.
And then I tell them when we go out, I'm like, put those sexy jeans on.
The skinny jeans are popping up on the runways and the Google search trends. So, the skinny jean has been a divisive garment, as it's described.
They weren't meant for everybody.
Yeah. So skinny jeans look like they're making a comeback. Well, when did they kind of go out of favor? I mean,
hold on. Are they confusing, am I confusing skinny jeans with tight jeans? Because tight jeans are always
skinny jeans just go like that all the way down to your, they cup your legs all the way down to your ankle instead of being like a flare or a straight leg or a boot cut.
All right, for some reason, I'm thinking of hipless hipsters wearing skinny jeans.
See how it says skinny jeans faster on the one you're looking at? That's a skinny jean. Yeah. But if you just looked up jeans, you might get a boot cut or a flare.
Yeah, I got
you. They hug your leg from the top all the way down. Mm-hmm. It's like, complete hug job.
What if you have cankles and you have boot cut? I mean, those big swollen legs.
Yeah.
Looks like a kickball champion,
Then you need flare jeans.
You fill them out.
You saw that Cracker Barrel was calling out the Waffle House for adding a 50-cent surcharge to eggs, right?
No.
Yeah, so it's pretty funny, actually.
That's a beef I want to be right in the middle of.
Yeah. Cracker Barrel is pointing out to customers, you will not have to pay extra for your omelets. So Cracker Barrel is trying to mix it up with Waffle House, saying, hey, Waffle House is sticking it to you. Come to the Cracker Barrel. We're not going to hit you with an egg surcharge. Any surcharge on eggs over here at Cracker Barrel? Nope. At Cracker Barrel, country hospitality is as important to us as a hearty breakfast, and that means not charging extra for eggs. So you know what they're saying to Waffle House? Suck it.
That's right.
That's what they're suck the egg.
This is the battle we need as Americans right now.
I mean, I think it's kind of ridiculous.
Well, are you crazy? This is what we need. Cracker Barrel standing up for what's right.
I would love to have a pay-per-view Cracker Barrel versus Waffle House steel cage grudge match.
All right, so
like
hold on.
UFC, Cracker Barrel, no holds barred, Cracker Barrel versus Waffle House employees.
Waffle House wins.
Yeah, who wins that fight? I mean, I'd have to think Waffle House.
I think so, too.
Waffle House is just more...
Waffle House is, they're ready for 3 o'clock in the morning, man.
Yeah.
They are.
Any time of day they are.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Every time I've gone to Waffle House, and I was at one maybe 3 or 4 months ago, the one on Fowler Avenue.
Yeah.
And she was tough.
I saw a video. I saw one of the line cooks at Waffle House had to deal with an unruly guy at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And took some kind of steel kitchen utensil and clocked the unruly customer over the face with it.
That's what you get.
Oh, yeah.
What's Cracker Barrel talking tough for, closing at 9 o'clock?
What do you call?
They're going to serve some biscuits and gravy.
Yeah. How about you bring me some apple butter and cane syrup?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, I'm glad they're calling them out, but I don't know. I think Cracker Barrel is writing checks that their ass can't cash.
Oh, really?
I agree.
Because if Waffle House said, meet me outside.
Yep.
All right. Speaking of employees going all medieval on somebody's face, an Alaska Airlines male flight attendant had to start punching a passenger in the face. This video is insane. Fester, you got to bring up this video. I've got the audio to play. The video's gone viral. An Alaska Airlines flight attendant had to repeatedly smash a screaming man in the face who was having some kind of a medical episode, but he was attacking a woman and grabbing her head and hair. In order to get the medical episode maniac male off of the other woman, the male Alaska Airlines flight attendant had to start punching this guy in the face. The audio is insane. Look at this. He's holding the guy's head and he's punching him repeatedly. It's insane. Listen. And you can hear the hitting. Hang on, listen. All right, hold on.
You can hear people saying, let go of her hair, sir.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this was insane. I listen again at the very front of this. Listen. I heard it better on my computer than I'm hearing it now on my headphones. But
you can see it punch after punch after punch.
Yeah. Let go of the hair. You can hear someone say that. The flight attendant tries to pry the man's hands off of this other passenger's hair, grabs her hair, and it's unbelievable. And then you just don't often see a flight attendant bashing a passenger in the face. But clearly this guy deserved it, and he had to try to get this deranged passenger's hands off of this woman's head and hair.
Were they mid-flight when this happened?
Yeah.
I mean, I see the guy standing behind the flight attendant with the headphones on, and he's like, can I just get to my seat, please?
That's
Can I just scoot by?
That is absolutely nuts. All right, I have in my possession right here Spotify's top 10 most streamed love songs of all time.
That's appropriate this week.
Yeah, so Valentine's Day is Friday.
Yeah.
Michelle and I are planning a romantic evening early bird dinner at the Olive Garden.
Fantastic.
Seriously, we're going to do it again.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We went to Olive Garden last year for Valentine's Day because Michelle's mother gave me at Christmas time an Olive Garden gift card, which was supposed to be like a gag gift. But Michelle and I had a very lovely time.
I enjoyed it.
So we decided that we're going to go back to Valentine's Day Olive Garden dinner.
You showed your mother-in-law up because she gave it to you in the lowest denomination because she's like, I'm only throwing this money away.
It's like $25.
I'm just going to give him the smallest one I can get. Yeah. It's just a gag gift.
All right, so listen to this. I have Spotify's list of the top 10 most streamed love songs of all time. There's a problem here. I know only one song on the whole freaking list.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. And, Andrew, who pulled all the clips, and Andrew has a vast musical knowledge and the same thing. So Spotify puts out the list ahead of Valentine's Day, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Maybe I know two of them. All right, so I've got the top 10. I'm going to start with number 10. I'm going to count it down to number 1. All right. So, all of you love your curves and all your edges, all your. So that's John Legend coming in at number 9.
That's that song. I knew that song.
Yeah, so I barely know that one, but I do know it, but barely know that one. Then the next one is Die For You by, I don't know that song. All right. Then we have Ed Sheeran, Thinking Out Loud.
So honey, now take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000.
I don't know. Michelle, do you know this song?
Oh, I know the song.
Yeah. This is a big hit, too.
This is a really big hit.
MJ,
Chloe went to his concert.
You aren't.
Yeah.
I don't know that
Listen,
one.
hold on. If there was... There's a specific kind of radio station that plays this kind of song.
Right.
This
right.
This slower, more ballady song, and you don't listen to it.
I don't think you've ever worked for a station like
Yeah, I mean,
that
that's
either.
Number 6, Lord Huron, The Night We Met. Do you know this?
Yeah, they named the...
Do you know this?
No.
I've never heard of
I
Lord
never
of
heard
Hero.
this. I never. Okay, Ed Sheeran is on the list again. Ed Sheeran again at number 5.
So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped.
I never heard this in my life.
Yes, you have. You have.
I've heard this.
Yes.
Well, then I blocked it out like it's a repressed memory. I've repressed this like some kind of traumatic childhood experience.
You don't know.
I
if
don't know
you've-
the song.
You don't know if you have or
I don't
haven't
know.
ever heard an Ed Sheeran song
I-
ever. You're not that.
Number 4, Yellow by Coldplay. I don't know this song.
This is a really good soft
Yeah.
rock list.
Really?
Or
I don't know this song. Again,
This would be one of the songs that I like by Coldplay.
all right. Again, this is Spotify's top 10 most streamed Valentine's Day or love songs for Valentine's Day. So, top 10 most streamed love songs on Spotify. They've released the list for Valentine's Day. Then Arctic Monkeys. I want to be
familiar with ass monkeys, but not Arctic monkeys.
What about that? Does nothing for me. And then coming in at number 1, the top 10 most streamed love songs on Spotify ahead of Valentine's Day. Number 1 is another freaking Ed Sheeran song.
Hey Alexa, play contemporary love songs, and these all popped
Yeah.
up in a row. It'd be a hot playlist.
Right.
I like every one of them.
But there's got to be some that are missing that are not on the list. Does anything jump out?
Okay, so this is like most played of songs that have come out in the last couple of years. This can't be the most,
I mean, it says ever, but I'm like thinking, gosh, from the 60s and 70s and
Yeah.
80s, we had a lot of good music that has a lot of love songs.
Or maybe that goes to show you the age of the people using Spotify to download songs.
I mean, what about like Luther Vandross or
Or Barry White.
yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
some
come
of the
on.
older school
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. Why aren't those on the list?
MJ
you know?
Michelle on Valentine's Day.
Marvin Gaye.
Doing it to Barry White.
Listen, I'm telling you right now that there is a glaring omission of a song that should be on Spotify's most streamed love songs of all time. To me, this is an egregious omission. You know what it is? Not on the list. Come on.
No.
I gotta say, when you were asking for guesses in my head, I was thinking Donkey Butt by 12 Gauge. Give me that Donkey Butt.
It is 8:52 at the MJ Morning Show. This brings to a close an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. When we get back, would you like to hear what matchmakers, and there really are still matchmakers out there? There are. Like in New York, there are like matchmakers to try to match people together, matchmaker services. When we get back, some matchmakers talk about some of the most delusional things their clients ask for while hoping for a match. And it's more guy-centric, right? So guys asking the matchmakers for specific requests in the women that they're looking for. What is kind of deranged and delusional? Well, we'll tell you. One of them is just gross. All right, we'll tell you next on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. Hey, I got word. MJ Fester along with Michelle. The Monday after Super Bowl, I'm not dragging. And this whole notion of, oh, the day after Super Bowl ought to be a national holiday. Go on. Get out of here.
Are you crazy? Listen, we're here. We're doing our show. We got, you know who's here? The boss is here. Yeah. Ron's here. Yeah. And nobody in the office.
Get out of here.
It's like The Walking Dead. Nobody's over.
On to the matchmakers spilling their secrets here. I didn't know that these dating, I thought that this was more like a 90s thing, 80s, 90s, the matchmaker services. And I remember that there were some services where like men, like wealthy men would pay like $50,000 to be, set up and matched.
There was a TV show like Millionaire Matchmaker, and it was this woman who had like this Rolodex of available people to kind of pair you with.
Really? That sounds familiar.
There's a stigma, I guess, to, online dating and putting your profile out there for everybody to see. Mm-hmm. Even Chloe talked about one time there was a social network that you had to apply to.
Yeah, what was the name of that thing?
I forget.
Yeah, you know what? I had a story on that recently. What was that?
But you had to apply, and then then she was super excited because she got approved.
Yeah, what was that?
She sent copies of your bank statements.
I'll tell you what, instead of us...
she's like, this isn't mine, but this is my dad's.
Oh, we knock it off. Cut the crap.
Because there'd be a dowry involved.
Hold on, what was the name of that thing?
I don't remember.
Just search it.
All right, hold on.
What is the dating app that you have to be selected for. Just come up with some. It'll come up. It starts with an R, I think. Starts with an R. R.
Raya?
Yep, it is. It's Raya.
Raya.
It is. It's an R. Raya is a subscription dating app that requires an applicant to join. It's known for being exclusive and has been associated with the creative community. Yeah, because I know I've read things about people that have been turned down. It's like, nope, you don't meet our qualifications. Yep, you don't qualify to join the dating app Raya or Raya. It's Raya, however the hell you pronounce it. All right, so on to this matchmaker story. And I'm like, hold on, these matchmakers really still exist? Yeah, apparently so, because there's a story from a New York-based matchmaker. I've got a story from an Atlanta-based matchmaker. Oh, 2 from New York. All right, listen to this and tell me what your interpretation of this is. A matchmaker in Manhattan named Blaine. Blaine says, essentially, I'm not going to ask my clients this. So what is it? A male client asks the matchmaker to find a woman with a body count under 10.
All right.
What do you think that? I'll tell you what my interpretation of that is. So, men sometimes say stuff like, "I need a body count under 10," and she says, "You think I would ask a woman to tell me? You think a woman would answer honestly if she did tell me that?" Oh, I'm sorry. Blaine is from Austin, so Blaine is an Austin, Texas-based matchmaker.
But still, he deals with plenty of people.
It's a woman.
Oh.
Blaine is a female Blaine.
I stand corrected.
And she's like, GTFO, I'm not asking the women if their body count is under 10. What do you think that means, Michelle?
How many people the lady has killed?
Well, you're pretty much on track. I think it's how many the woman has,
killed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many the woman has been with?
I mean, she's put to sleep, if you know what I mean.
So wait a minute. Body count under 10, so 9 is okay, but 10 or 11 is not.
I mean, once we start getting to double digits, some guys might be like, oh.
Big difference.
I find that women lie about their body count to the lower and men lie about their body count to the higher.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm 468.
No, that's pounds.
Oh, that's right. I knew that number sounded familiar.
Don't confuse pounds.
I weigh 468. That's right. I knew the number was in my head for a reason.
Oh, man. I mean, what? Really? A dating service is going to ask a woman for a male client? Yeah, what's your body count? How many have been in there? You know?
Well, I guess if he's paying for the service, he thinks he can, specify.
Dictate?
Yeah, exactly.
You really dictate.
Right?
Specifications?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Should we go to the body count phones? Is that a little gross?
I mean, are we trying to open up a crude matchmaking service?
Michelle, you going to shut down the body count phones?
No, that's just obnoxious.
Yeah. All right, we won't go to the body. Michelle's going to prevent me from going to the body count phones. All right, so that's an Austin, Texas-based matchmaker. Then we have Carly and Janice Spindell of Serious Matchmaking of New York City, and they talk about specific criteria that some men have for the partners that they're seeking, including specifics on their lifelong fantasies. What, like?
Lifelong fantasy?
Yeah, I wanted to show up in a French maid costume and undress and, and then tickle me with a feather duster.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, the guy's lifelong fantasies.
Yeah. So they'll give a list to the matchmaker of what their lifelong fantasies are. Hey, find me the woman that's going to fulfill my lifelong fantasy. Again, I had no idea that these matchmaking services still existed with all of the apps, the Bumble, the Rumble, the Tumble, the Mumble, the Stumble.
With the online apps, there's nobody doing the vetting. It's kind of it's like B2B transaction.
Yeah, I know.
Here you at least hire somebody to do the blocking for you.
Yeah, you got the Tinders, the Grinders, the.
Those are very different.
I know they're different.
Similar, but different.
What else was? Scott Valdez, the founder of Vida Select, VIDA, said his clients get get incredibly specific on what they want their partner to look like, down to the bra size. I mean, do you think a guy ought to be asking for a specific cup size? I mean, really? That's going to be criteria. Before anything else, you want cup size, you want boob size, before anything else, like the other attributes that make up a good human?
This isn't a fair assessment here, because if somebody asks you, describe your ideal person, you would say, I guess, I like dark hair.
Yeah.
I like, this.
Wait, wasn't that your first question to me?
What?
What's your bra size?
No, it was not. Will you stop it? I never asked you that. Yeah, Fester's on the Vida or Vida Select website, and they've got two couples close together. I'm sorry, one couple.
Two people in one
Two
couple.
people, one couple. And it reads, ready to say goodbye to swiping and bad dates. Oh, see if you qualify.
Oh, let's see if.
Hold on. You got to click on Vida Select in New York. You got to see if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Allie, your matchmaker from Vida Select. How can I help you? I am looking to meet single women. I'm looking to meet single men. I'm looking to meet single men. All right. Are you a man or a woman?
Just say you're a woman.
I'm a woman. Good. I'm a woman.
I feel like a woman. All right, next.
Great. My questions are easy. Let me learn a little bit
Only
about
take 2 minutes to start. Could you tell me your first name? Yes. How about Bridget?
Bridette.
I don't know.
Bridget Brooke.
Bridget Brooke?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's my name.
All right,
Well,
next.
it just asks for the
All right.
first name.
Nice to meet you, Bridget Brooke. What's your current relationship status?
Single, married, divorced, separated, widowed, complicated.
Oh, it's complicated.
It's complicated.
Yeah. Relationships can be complicated. We can chat more about this when we speak. Okay, next.
Next.
All right. What city would you like to meet matches in?
Why mama?
No. Wiki Watchy.
Okay, that's a good
No,
one.
don't do it. No, don't do that. No. Do Chicago.
Wiki Watchy Gardens,
No,
Florida, right here.
don't put Wiki Watchy in there. Do Chicago. For crying out loud. All right.
Chicago, Illinois.
All right, we're on the virtual assistant. All right, perfect. That's one of our top metro areas.
What about
where we
Wiki-Watchy?
get the most clients?
What would you have said about that?
Wiki Watchy would say, yeah, no, fat chance.
How old am I?
Bridget is 29.
29.
Yeah, Bridget's 29 years old. Next. What's the general age range of men you'd be interested in meeting from
50 to 99.
No, do 40 to 86.
'Cause 87 is just too old.
As a matchmaker, I know that many singles prefer to date someone on a similar professional level. How much would your ideal match earn per year?
First answer is it doesn't matter, and then it breaks it down by
60, over 45, over 60, over 75, over 100, over 150, over 500. The highest you can go is over 500. No. Do over 500,000.
Only the richest guys?
Oh, yeah, only the richest guys. Yeah. As you know, your income level is relevant for dating. Most of our clients prefer to date someone of a similar professional level or higher. Could you share your current income level with me?
Under 45.
It's complete. Yeah, do the lowest for her.
Under 45.
Under 45. The lowest that's the option. Which of the following best describes what inspired you to reach out?
MJ Morning Show.
My friend recommended Vida Select to me. Dating apps are an overwhelming part-time job. I don't seem to be attracting the right matches. I'm searching for the best matchmaker. Meeting someone special is my top priority. Yeah, do the last one. Meeting someone special is my top priority. Yes. All right. Vida Select packages start at $11.95 per month.
What?
Oh my God!
Per month?
$1,200 a month. That's where they start. And that's probably like dog meat.
Yeah. Is Beasley going to cover this cost?
All right. Vida Select packages start at $1,195 a month. That's where we dedicate 80 minutes to your search per day. There's no long-term commitment. It's just 1 month at a time, and clients typically meet someone special within 3 months. All right, so you're going to have $3,600. That's the lowest scale.
And I could meet a man that's 86 years old that makes $500K?
Well, we'll see. If you knew we could find your ideal match for you, would this be an investment you'd be willing to make?
Yes.
Yes. I'll take out a loan.
Great news.
I'm gonna go to some paycheck cashing. I'm gonna go to a loan place.
Well, look, I got great news.
Oh, great news! You've passed the initial qualification. Yes, you're a gold digging hoe. You passed. Just give us the $11.95 per month. All right, it says great news. You've passed the initial qualification step, and now it's time for us to speak. Let's get that set up right now. Sure, let's do this. Awesome. What's your best email address?
MJ at
MJMorningshow.com. MJ.
No, I'm gonna put it. All right. So I'm just glad to know that Bridget Brooke passed the first initial qualification round.
Oh.
At $1,200 a month for the G package.
Slatella Gold Digger at yahoo.com.
Okay.
Slatella Gold Digger at yahoo.com.
Stop.
Slatella
at yahoo.
I wanted to name our kid Slatella if it was a girl, and Michelle said no.
Slatella Gold Digger. There's 2 D's in that, right? Gold Digger.
Yeah.
At yahoo.com.
Got it. To be clear, our quick confidential chat is 100% free. The zero obligation or pressure to join, blah, blah. Would you prefer we meet over the phone or video chat? Oh, video chat. Yeah, video chat. Select the convenient time right here. Oh, I think right now. I think we video chat right now live on the air.
Well, today's not available.
Why is that? Well, that's too bad. Well, then,
So,
that's it. I'm going to a different dating service.
Let's do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And I'll schedule it for this computer.
But you don't have that email.
I gotta
go
You guys understand this? They're going to send you a link
no, you got to go
to video me to that email that you just put in there, which doesn't even exist.
Yes, Slatella Gold Digger at yahoo.com doesn't exist.
Don't they know that I'm on a morning show? I can't wait till 10:30 a.m.
Oh, the appointment started at 10:30. That's not going to work for us anyway. It gives you a chance to change your email.
All right. I don't want to talk to these people tomorrow at 10:30. But I passed the initial round, and here's where they try to hard close me on the $1,200 a month package.
Yep. Bra size. Here's an Atlanta-based matchmaker that says that older men are always seeking much younger women. So, I don't know. Anyway, so I had no idea these matchmaking services still existed with the advent of who needs a matchmaker when you got farmer's daughter? You know?
Okay. Yeah.
No, it's like
or
find farmers or something.
Girly gimp is another big one.
What?
Yeah, it's where you find only the hottest and most available amputees.
Okay, you guys are just gross. I mean, honestly.
2 legs are overrated.
All right.
Oh, Fester!
All right, 9:16 at the MJ Morning Show.
Believe me, I have an old lady with 2 legs.
I want
One
to
leg,
ask.
not necessary.
I want to ask our audience, what have you learned about cough syrup from the MJ Morning Show? This is serious. What have you learned about cough syrup from the MJ Morning Show? If you've taken away one item from the MJ Morning Show over your historical listening time period, what have you learned about cough syrup?
That if you get the cough syrup with codeine in it and you melt some Skittles in it, it's delicious.
That is not true. That is false.
Yes, it is true.
All right, you know what? I want to go to phones here quickly. I'm only taking a call or two. Hurry up. What have you learned? If you're a diehard MJ Morning Show listener, what have you learned about cough syrup here on the MJ Morning Show? Let's go. 800 this is a very specific answer. This is not a trick question. This is a very easy, simple sentence question. What have you learned about cough syrup on the MJ Morning Show over the years? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Fire up the phones. What have you learned about cough syrup? Let's go. It's very, very simple. 800-990-1047. I hope people aren't intimidated. It's not a trick question. And, hopefully, phones are ringing. Let me just pick up lines here. Hi, good morning. They hung up. All right, give me one of the Andrews. All right, here we go. Hi, good morning. Who's this?
Hey, MJ, Gerson.
Gerson,
How you doing, guys?
Yeah, where are you calling from, Gerson?
Clearwater.
All right, Gerson, what have you learned about cough syrup from the MJ Morning Show?
That it's a waste of money.
100%. Hang on, I hit the wrong button. Yes, 100% right. Gerson.
Doesn't work.
That is correct. Cough syrup is a waste of money. Cough syrup is a scam. Cough syrup is the biggest racket, whether, over the counter or even some of the prescription stuff. Cough syrup does not work.
I can vouch for that.
Everyone can.
I had a bad cough one time, and I tried taking some cough drops, and it didn't even work for me neither.
Well, the cough drops are candy. I'd buy those little Cherry Ludens or the Pine Brothers. They're just candies.
Yes,
all right, thank you, buddy. Look at that. Gerson, right off the bat, Gerson knew. Cough syrup doesn't work. Cough syrup is a gigantic racket. It is a multi-billion-dollar fraud over decades and do you know how many tens of billions, if not hundreds of, how much money in cough syrup has been sold, let's say, over the past 60 years?
60 years? How much in the last 60?
Yeah. It's got to be billions and billions and billions, and it's a fraud. It doesn't work. The fact that, Michelle, what was the over-the-counter drug item or category that the FDA said doesn't work? And remember they pulled all that stuff?
Oh, like the Mucinexes.
Yeah,
and,
like the decongestants or whatever.
Something like that.
There was a big thing about 3-4 years ago where a whole category of over-the-counter drugs essentially disappeared because the FDA said, don't waste your money. This crap does not work.
Right.
All right? Hey, Andrew, see if you can find out what that was, what the specific category was of the FDA saying, don't waste your money. And the products disappeared off the shelf, got gone. But cough syrup does not work. It doesn't. I don't even. For some, is it psychosomatic? I don't know. But it's just a complete waste of your money. Reason why I bring this up is an Amish dude says that he's got a homemade cough syrup that works. Are you ready?
Okay, Mr. Amish guy.
All right. So he's actually he's ex-Amish. I guess he walked away from the lifestyle some years ago.
But he took all the Amish secrets with him.
Oh, yeah. And plus that fried chicken recipe. Woo-wee. All right. So here's the deal. The Amish recipe for cough medicine, which I'm still going to put this in the category if it just doesn't work. But this is disgusting. Onions, lemon.
Onions and lemon.
This is nasty.
That's how it has to sound. When you said make up a homemade recipe that works, I was thinking all kinds of crazy spices and ingredients.
A yellow onion, lemons, apple cider, vinegar, and honey. To make it at home, grab a sharp cutting board and a mason jar. Peel your onion and slice it into rings. Do the same with the lemons. You're going to want to use about the same amount of lemons as you have onion for. Yeah, he used 2 lemons in the batch. You layer everything, place a slice of lemon at the bottom of the jar, followed by an onion ring, and then alternate. Lemon, onion ring, lemon. So you're cutting the lemon into rings. Lemon, onion, lemon, onion, lemon, onion in a mason jar until it's full. And then press it down as you go. Then grab honey, pour a generous amount of honey over the lemon and onion layers. Once the honey is settled, you top it off with apple cider vinegar until the jar is full.
Oh, man.
Then you're going to put the lid on it, put it in a cool, dark place, and let it sit overnight. Oh, God. Oh, he swears that this works. Yeah. The FDA and medical experts have said that cough syrups don't work, but they still allow them to be sold. But they don't work. But apparently this remedy does work.
That just sounds disgusting.
It does sound, doesn't it? The Amish cough syrup recipe. All right, Andrew, what was the category of over-the-counters that the FDA had yanked some years ago? Do you have that handy?
They didn't have them yanked, but they explained that phenylephrine was ineffective.
No, but a bunch of companies stopped making some drugs, some well-known brands. Companies completely discontinued well-known. What do you have?
Well, what is it, Andrew?
Phenylephrine?
Yeah, is it an ingredient in versions of the popular
Cold medicines, including NyQuil, Benadryl, Sudafed. The FDA is proposing taking it off the shelves, not because it's unsafe, because it doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was back from November. There was a big hubbub about it around Thanksgiving time.
Well, I'll tell you what, I might try the Amish method.
It sounds disgusting, but if you're going to naturally take something for a cough, it would be honey, maybe apple cider vinegar mixed in with it. Lemons. But lemon juice has a soothing effect.
Tell you what,
the onion, that's new.
You want to get rid of your cough, you drink turpentine.
But
that's it. Get rid of everything.
I don't, folks, don't drink turpentine.
You want to get rid of your organs? Drink turpentine.
Do not. I repeat, do not drink turpentine.
But it sounds a little like a hot toddy.
Yeah,
right?
a little bit, yeah.
Honey, lemon, water, and whiskey. But instead of the whiskey, you put in
I think whiskey would be
vinegar.
just as effective.
Yeah.
If we took out the onion and whiskey, that'd be an onion and
vinegar.
That'd be a nice drink.
There you go.
You give 3-4-year-olds just shots of whiskey. Anonymous on line 5. Hello, Anonymous.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
So I see a psychiatrist and take Wellbutrin and cough syrup together. It's a new drug that's on the market. I don't know the name of it, but it's very expensive. So to substitute that cost, you just take 200 milligrams of XL Wellbutrin and DM cough syrup pills from Amazon. And when I go to the doctor and they ask me what kind of medicine I'm on, they look at me like I'm crazy.
Hold on, Anonymous, you're doing this to solve a coughing problem?
It's for anxiety, depression.
But what does it have to do with coughing?
I don't know. Somehow they figured out that if you take cough syrup and Wellbutrin together, it does something to your brain chemicals.
Oh, you're saying that for not for the cough, but
right.
taking cough.
He's saying he takes cough syrup with
Wellbutrin. Wellbutrin.
Right, so that works for him on that level.
Not the liquid. I take a pill form DM. Right. What's in Robitussin DM, I take the DM by itself.
How's your therapy going? Are you okay?
Oh, no, everything's great. It's just for anxiety, more for anxiety.
So I was going to say, your psychiatric issues are more anxiety, and do you have it under control now?
And ADD, yeah, it helps, yeah.
I mean, would your ADD and your anxiety, would it be debilitating?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
But you're doing okay, right?
Just levels it out, yes, sir.
All right, well, that's what I want to hear. Hopefully you're okay. Any problems ever, just give me a call at home, okay?
Great.
He doesn't mean that.
Have a good day. All right, one more. We're going to run late here.
But call you at home.
What
are you going to do? Hey, MJ, it's anonymous. Listen, I really need somebody to talk to right now.
I'm having an episode right now. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to go to his house.
You got any Wellbutrin at your place?
Help him out. Cindy in Wesley Chapel. Hi, Cindy.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey there. What's up?
Oh, nothing. I'm a new listener, but I got to say I love you guys, especially Fester. He's my favorite.
Well, thank you. And Cindy, how'd you just find us?
Just scanning through the radio trying to find a station because we just relocated out here.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. So we're a long-time show. Our roots go back to 1994, so 30 years. And where do you come from, Cindy?
From Las Vegas, Nevada.
Wow. Well, Cindy, thank you for finding us, and welcome. Go ahead.
I just got to say that the holistic way to go for cough medicine is absolutely the way. The Amish, they know what the hell they're talking about.
So you think the onion rings, the lemon rings, the honey and the vinegar, you think the Amish have it going on?
100%. You got to add garlic, though. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
It helps.
She's right. I mean, if you think of if you were to just had a blank sheet of paper and it said concoct your own holistic recipe, you would add all those ingredients. Maybe not onion, but it makes sense.
Well, thank you. And Cindy, welcome to the listenership, and keep listening. And thank you for letting us know, okay?
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Look at that. New listener from Vegas.
Hey, Cindy, Fester's my favorite too.
Yeah.
We have a lot in common, her and I.
I'm glad she found Fester.
Yeah.
Glad she likes the MJ more. All right. I have the Mother of the Year when we get back. The Mother of the Year. The final segment, MJ Morning Show here on a Monday after the Super Bowl. The Mother of the Year and a mug shot that you've got to see. In fact, I'm going to get Andrew to get the mug shot up so you can quickly access it on our website. The story, the mug shot, Mom of the Year. This can go one of two ways with the mugshot. Which way do you think this is gonna go? And what did she do next? MJ, this is going to be a audio visual. This is going to be visual aids. All right. Next on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM here in Tampa Bay. If you've had a dream. Shock of the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Welcome, everybody. Fester, what do you mean you're undecided? What do you mean you're on the fence? Come on, I just showed Fester the mugshot of the mother. Listen, like I said, this mugshot could go one of two ways.
Okay.
Which way is it going? I'm telling you which way it's going. So we have a mother, a mugshot, a charge. Here's what happened. And we're going to let you see this, folks. This is not going to be, open to interpretation just through a description. You're going to be able to look at the mugshot and you make the decision. But Fester just had some concerns, which, listen, I don't need that clarification. I can see the building blocks are there. All right. This is a little awkward. My wife is staring at me. All right. Hold on. Doesn't mean I'm going to go date her on the show.
I mean, we're married, not dead.
All right. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
Wisconsin woman found unresponsive in vehicle with 5 children. Holy crap. Does she look like she's had 5 children?
I mean, are they all hers? That might change
Well,
my
you're
answer.
not seeing her from, the chest down.
Well, hang on. We're also not seeing her in her best of times. And if the mugshot is like this, then I'm guessing it gets better. I'm telling you, I thought the mugshot looked great. So like I said, this can go one or two ways.
This is the blurriest mugshot I've seen in a while.
I know. What's going on?
I have been generally very impressed with police departments and the quality of their mugshot
Well,
equipment.
see, that's what Fester's saying. Fester is saying that, I can't make a what do you say, undetermined?
I can't make a definitive ruling on this.
Can't make it. I'm telling you right now, the building blocks are there. Now, granted, I give it to you that the police mugshot is not the highest quality, but she's looking Victoria's Secret runway-esque modelish to me.
You know what?
Oh, you don't agree? All right, folks, listen. Go see for yourself. Andrew, is it posted? Is it ready to roll? Okay, the link is up. Hopefully, it's populated. If you try to go to our website, and if it's not there, just give it some time to populate for it to run through the internets.
I get what you're saying. Her face looks pretty, but you to be on the Victoria's Secret runway,
I can't see below. The mugshot cuts off above her chest.
I mean, is that hair kept or is it a rat's nest? I need to know a couple more questions.
I'm telling you, I'm seeing some building blocks of good looking.
All
Right. Well, here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
A Wisconsin woman was charged last week, found unresponsive, just passed out in the vehicle. Nicole M. Coyne, 40, charged with 5 counts of misdemeanor DUI with a minor and 5 counts of felony child neglect creating serious risk or injury. Deputy said they found coins slumped over the center console of her vehicle and unresponsive at 11 p.m. last Wednesday at a Taco Bell in Cross Lanes. This is in Cross Lanes, West Virginia. I'm sorry.
Wisconsin or West Virginia?
Well, hold on. This is weird because the Dateline says Cross Lanes, West Virginia, but then the story starts out with a Wisconsin woman.
So she's from Wisconsin in West Virginia. She's not a local.
Oh, there we go. That makes sense. All right. Thank you, Sherlock, for putting that together for me. Anyway,
You're
folks,
welcome, Watson.
go take a look at the mugshot. I'm telling you, this is the hottest child neglector I've seen in a long time.
You know what?
All right?
Yeah.
Michelle, are you
That's good. That's good.
Are you chortling over there?
Yeah. I mean,
This is an attractive child abuser. I'm just child neglect. First of all, what the hell are you doing with 5 young kids in the car at 11 o'clock on a Wednesday night, and you're passed out drunk over the console in a Taco Bell parking lot?
They might have wanted, Taco Bell Grandes or chalupas.
These kids have school. You're going to love this. The kids ranged in age from 2 months old to 6. 5 kids. I mean, she's been busy.
Are they all hers?
I don't. Well,
was she watching her nieces and nephews?
yeah, maybe she's the nanny.
She's childcare as well. That's what I want in childcare. A drunk nanny with 5 kids crammed in a car at a Taco Bell parking lot at 11 p.m. on a Wednesday night. I go look at the mugshot. I'm telling you, I'm seeing some serious. Even though the mugshot sucks and it is blurry.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's a level of attraction. Michelle, don't be pissed at me, all right?
It's like the mugshot was taken from like a TV screen photograph.
Yeah, I think that's why it's a little blurry. So, man, look, she's got pouty lips and her jawline is nice.
Cheekbones.
Michelle,
I've never even heard you use the term pouty lips.
Yeah, he uses it to describe other women.
Are these characteristics you're going to use to when you apply for your matchmaker
Yeah.
profile later?
Yeah.
You're using this as a. Are you going to submit this and go, "This is what I want"?
All right.
Minus the misbehavior with the 5 kids passed out on a car in Taco Bell parking lot.
Some misbehavior is okay, but not the 5 kids.
Let me tell everybody where to find the mugshot. Go to mjmorningshow.com. That's mjmorningshow.com. Then near the top, click on As Heard on the MJ Morning Show. Click on that, and then it should be the top item. Should be the link to the story from a WCHS TV in West Virginia. Cross Lanes, West Virginia. All right. Wisconsin woman in West Virginia. All right. So click on the story, and then the mugshot is right at the very, very top. And I'm going with, the whole hot or not thing. I'm going with a hot mugshot on this one here. And I bet you I bet you in focus, this only gets better and not worse.
I'll go with pretty warm.
Like I said, this is the hottest child neglector I've seen in a long time. Go check this thing out. Hey, Michelle, good news for you.
What's that?
Trump is not going to deport Prince Harry
Oh, that's not good news for me.
and Meghan Markle.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm being facetious.
Okay.
Keep him around. I could keep using him as a punching bag.
What was the story that I think
You don't know the story?
Yeah. What's it? Why was Prince Harry staying in the country potentially on the bubble?
Because when you apply for whatever visa application and status he wanted to have, you have to fill out a form that indicates your drug use. And they're suggesting that he said no drug use, which allowed him to enter the country and have a visa status that allowed him to stay for a period of time.
Oh,
but
in fact, weren't there photographs showing him?
no, listen. In his book, Spare, he acknowledged lots of drug use, cocaine.
Oh, that's right.
And I don't know whatever else he was using.
Crazy parties and all kinds of stuff.
So the people who want to know, right, are saying that hey, he shouldn't be allowed to keep it quiet and sweep it under the rug. But if he did lie on his application, like everybody else who might be found to lie on their application, he should be booted.
Yeah, send ICE over to his place.
Right.
So he lied, no drug use on his immigration paperwork.
That's the
but then
theory.
he admitted to all kinds of drug use in that autobiography.
And so they tried to say like, oh, that was just in the book. not saying whether it was true or not. They just try to say like, oh, it was just in the book.
Oh, it was
But they're
embellished.
saying, right.
Embellished in
That
the
was
book.
implied that it was embellished.
Yeah.
But then you got to say, well, then if the book isn't true.
Oh, in order to sell books, he's got to admit
Right.
that he's snorting coke off of
Exactly.
hookers' butts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's had a very boring
Yeah.
story otherwise.
But if the book is false, it's supposed to be an autobiography, then what could happen to him? Then he could be in trouble for that one.
Yeah.
Says who? Well, who
Says the person who sold the book that said a million pieces of me or something,
He's
and then
gonna-
he got in trouble
So-
for that.
So listen to this. Trump says that he's not going to have Prince Harry deported. Quote, he's got enough problems with his wife,
Yeah, I believe it.
with Meghan Markle. I hope this didn't happen. I hope nobody, God, this would be a morbid ask. We're right at the end of the show.
What?
All right, I'm going to ask. Listen, you never know what to expect from the MJ Morning Show. I'm just going to ask it in the final minutes of the show. Does anybody know anyone that had a heart attack yesterday? I know it's kind of twisted and morbid. Yeah, I know. But hold on. Listen to me.
Come on.
There's a reason for this. This is serious. This is not a joke. I'm being very, very serious. Does anybody listening know anybody that had a heart attack yesterday? And hopefully, they survived and they're being treated. All kidding aside, seriously, this is a real question. Does anybody listening know anybody that had a heart attack yesterday? 800-990-1047. I'm being specific. Does anyone know anyone that had a heart attack on Sunday, February 9th, yesterday, 2025? 800-990-1047. Oh, my God, the phones are ringing. Get out of here.
Yesterday?
Yeah. And think about this. Does anyone know anybody that had a heart attack yesterday? 800-990-1047. That's 800-990-1047. While Andrew screens to see if we have any viable calls here.
Is it something statistical? Like there's a...
Well, try and put it together there, Sherlock.
Like, the Super Bowl, people had heart attacks watching the game?
That is correct. Listen, this is crazy. I had no idea. Heart attacks rise during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, maybe for Eagles and Chiefs fans. I didn't care. I mean, I enjoyed the game, but I wasn't going to have a heart attack over it.
Stress kicked off by the intensity of Super Bowl plays, not to mention all the food and drink. It increases the chance of a heart attack.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The food, if anything, my buffalo chicken dip that I made is going to give me a heart attack. Did you guys make anything for the game? Make anything special?
Butter noodles.
Butter noodles? Yeah.
Michelle's got this German brand of Bechtel.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle buys Bechtel butter noodles by the caseload.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What did I make for the Super Bowl?
Buttered broccoli.
Oh yeah, I steamed broccoli.
You guys are wild. You guys are real crazy.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Look this up.
What?
Andrew says no heart attack calls. Look this up. Average number of calories that people consume during the Super Bowl. I'm going to tell you right now that it's like a crazy number. If my recollection is correct, the average calorie consumption during the Super Bowl is like 3,500 to 4,500 calories. It's ridiculous. It's like 2 days of male recommended calorie intake in just fine. Super Bowl. Average. Here's one. NFL fans generally consume large quantity of food.
It's a wide range.
Yeah, here's one that says the average is 2,923 calories during the Super Bowl.
I mean, the original range puts it up to 2,400 to 11,000.
Oh, get out of here! Who's doing 11,000 calories?
I sure would like to try.
But I'm telling you right now that it has been published that the average caloric intake during the Super Bowl is like 3,000 to 4,000 calories.
3,500 calories is the average number of calories consumed during the Super Bowl, according to one website called Levity.
A study by Levity.
Okay.
All right, so 3,000 to 4,000, somewhere in that range. I've always read this. So my caloric intake last night during the Super Bowl, I think was maybe 85.
Oh, no, man.
Wait, did you add the glass of wine?
Oh, that's right. I did have.
Yeah.
I did. I opened up a bottle of Details last night, which was very, very good. Wasn't that good wine?
It was.
Yeah,
Where's
Details.
that from?
What?
Where's that from? Details.
California. It's a Napa or a Sonoma.
Very.
It's a nice California wine, not expensive. It's called Details, and it's a really nice wine.
You're essentially eating like a homeless French person. I got some broccoli, some wine.
Seriously, during the Super Bowl, I steamed broccoli. I melted a little bit of butter, and I put and a little bit of sea salt, and that's what I had. I had like a whole head of broccoli for myself.
Oh no, man! I made a whole thing out of a buffalo chicken dip out of a rotisserie chicken. Fantastic.
You did?
2 bricks of cream cheese in it.
You did?
About a cup and a half of hot sauce. Ate it on some Ritz crackers.
No, but back to the heart attack thing here. Super Bowl fans have an increased risk of heart attacks. Heart attacks and other life-threatening cardiac events rise during and after the big game and other major sporting events. Stress kicked off by the intensity of nail-biting plays, going deep on wings and chips.
Yeah.
Epic amounts of alcohol can lead to a heart attack, an arrhythmia, or cardiac arrest, particularly for someone with known heart disease. So nobody will be surprised to see people within 24 hours of the game with cardiovascular emergencies, says Dr. James O'Keefe. Yeah, not that guy, different one. Director of the Preventive Cardiology at St. Luke's Mid-America. Anyway, I guess it's a known thing with the ERs that heart attacks increase during the Super Bowl.
So, speaking of doctors in Super Bowl, did you catch the NYU commercial?
NYU Langone?
Yep.
Yeah.
I did.
I thought that was a pretty cool commercial.
Yeah.
These guys not being able to play football, but solving all kinds of cancers and neurological stuff. And all that
locally, for the locals, so you have the national spots, and then you have the local avails that Fox 13 sold. And I saw every single major medical representation locally. TGH had a spot, Baycare had a spot, Advent Health had a commercial, and Orlando Health. All 4 of the biggies in the Tampa Bay area all had commercials.
But you know what?
That's why my bill at TGH was $30,000.
It's just different.
I'm paying for Super Bowl commercials.
Well, wait, the Langone commercial was the most clever one. Like it actually resonated with the audience, and
I thought it was a very.
Yeah.
I thought of your boy.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder if Julian shot that.
Yeah.
Could have saved a few bucks over at Langone, or whatever it's called.
NYU Langone. All right, 9:50 at the MJ Morning Show. We got to roll. Great Monday program. I had fun today. Michelle, thanks for coming in again.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Meech.
All right, folks, have a great Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the Tuesday show. It's the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. And whatever you do, head on a swivel, and let's be careful out there.
Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Nothing says I love you like a click.